Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go once again. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. Welcome to The Bottom Line. We have the lovely Braylon Edwards to my right.
Hey, flattery will get you somewhere.
That's right.
It will get you somewhere.
Hey, man, it's easy to do when you're around, Braylon.
I mean, you're too kind. How are you doing over there, buddy?
I'm feeling good today.
Always a pleasure to rock and roll with you, man.
This is always fun. We have some good conversations. Today, we're going to have some interesting conversations. Maybe for some people, some tough conversations.
Hey,
but
you know what?
And we can't avoid this stuff, right?
No need to.
Right.
Let's dive into. Hey, let me ask you this. Before we get into the serious stuff, let's start with some loose stuff. Let's get it loose. What's an average day, or what's an average evening for Stick look like after you leave work? What's an average evening for you, buddy?
Oh my! Are we just talking like an evening where I go home? Like when I go home, I take my dog for a walk.
Okay.
Me and Woody go on about a mile walk, and then I sit on my couch and I dig into my D-Max satchel, and I just kind of relax and decompress from the day. Scroll on social media, maybe slide in some DMs. Now that I'm single,
there we go.
You know how it is.
Man, you and I have very, very similar tastes and very similar
But
lives.
we haven't gone out, man. Like, we've been talking about this for, like, weeks.
8 months now.
Yeah, come on. Me and, Braylon and Stick night on the town, I think we're both scared of what will happen.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think, we're always right there. It's like, hey, and then after we talk about it, after we figure out what the event is, we go home and we're like, oh, man, what's going to end up happening? But, no, we definitely have to get down and get out, get it cracking. You are newfound single, so.
Yep.
Let's not do it, man. The weather's about to break for sure.
This summer's going to be good. It's going to be a good summer.
Hey, man, say less, man, and let's do that thing.
Yep. The hot boy summer coming at you. We got
real hot boy stuff.
Sam Flannel is in the sound booth. Maz is here, as always, making sure that we're staying in line. And, of course,
what up, fellas?
The one, the only Alex Mayer behind the ones and twos.
Tom Mazawey, how you feeling over there, buddy?
I'm all right, buddy.
You looking good?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I like
Thanks,
the Michigan shirt. This is the right week.
I did it for Cap.
There you go.
You did it for who?
Cap.
Somebody's got
Colin Kaepernick?
I did.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because that's our lead topic today. If you saw it yesterday on Twitter, Michigan posted up a picture making Colin Kaepernick an honorary captain. And my God, Twitter went Twitter on us. And there were debates going on. There were people yelling at each other, dumb stuff being said. And, I am not going to lie to you. I am not a fan of people kneeling for the national anthem, but I'm also a fan of freedom in this country.
Yeah.
So it puts me in an awkward position because I will never tell anybody what to do as long as they're not hurting anybody else.
Right.
That's where I draw the line. As soon as you start hurting somebody else, then I'll step in.
Yeah.
But if you want to use whatever you need to protest, if you want to use whatever platform you have, that's fine. And people just are out of control with this because it's just, if they see Kaepernick on site, it turns into a wild political debate when it's really just they have a history together. He's the quarterback that helped Jim Harbaugh get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm assuming a lot of the teammates and a lot of the team members of Michigan support Kaepernick, and you're doing for your team. It's not about who's on Twitter. It's about your team. So I didn't mind that yesterday, even though I disagree with Kaepernick.
Yeah, the one thing about it is I think a lot of people are stuck in the 2016. They're stuck in the 2017 when that thing happened. Like, listen, this is a whole new Kaepernick situation. Like, I don't understand how people can not forgive a man who had a nonviolent protest as he was trying to shed light on some things that were happening in the black community. A lot of black individuals, non-armed black individuals being shot, being murdered. And he was just trying to shed light on that. With that being said, it was 6 years ago.
Right.
It's 6 years ago. The people that stormed on Twitter, the people stormed, how could you have this guy represent your school? How could you have him represent the maize and blue? What are you talking about? 6 years ago. You guys support guys that have done way worse. And giving them, like Maz always talks about, they've done way worse. And you give them chance after chance after chance because they can help they can help your squad. They can help your team. I think I need people. Leave this in the past. And then all the people making the noise, you go to their Instagram pages, you go to their social media pages, all look the same, all have trucks, all have pickup trucks, all have Fu Manchu.
I know. I fall into that category, though, so it's tough for me. Like, whenever they show the picture of all the white dudes that are bitching on Twitter, like, it's like, wait, that's my people. Like, I'm one of those.
I just don't understand why people are mad from 6 years ago.
Right.
It's a nonviolent protest. He was trying to shed light on things that were happening in his community. Key word, 6 years ago, this is a new situation. Jim Harbaugh has taken a shine because I was there when he got drafted, 2011. I was on the 49ers squad. They did go to the Super Bowl in 2013. Cap was a large reason for that. They have a relationship. You give him an opportunity. You give him a chance. It was 6 years ago. You see how it goes. Everybody changes. Things change. Move forward. Why are people so stuck in the past about something that, you could be wrong about anyway?
So, as a Michigan man, Braylon, which you are, when you saw that picture yesterday and you saw the response, what did that make you feel? Are you protecting Kaepernick now that you know that he's you've always protected him, right? But now that he's taken more of an allegiance and now he's an honorary captain, are you proud of that as a Michigan man?
I am proud. I'm proud that the change that we can happen. I'm proud that Jim Harbaugh may have had differences. And Ryan Armani said it best on his Twitter yesterday. People's political stances shouldn't come between friendships. They shouldn't come between you being buddies. They are friends. They have a relationship. He is a mentor. So with that being said, just move forward. Why can't people just move forward? Why can't people say, hey, you know what? That was then, this is now, let's see how it goes. Even if you're still focused on what he did, wait till the season happens. Ask him, is he going to kneel again? Ask him, is he going to pitch you up again? Because that might not be what he's after this time around. I think Cap did his penance. He stood his ground. His will is amazing. That's why I think he still has a chance at quarterback. His will is determined. His heart is determined. What he did it for, what his reasoning for was a good cause. I think he's a good guy, and he stayed the course.
Things have changed in the last 6 years. I'm not saying he's the
2
reason.
years.
Yeah, the last couple of years. But since he's kneeled, he's lost his career. Yeah, he sued the NFL. Yeah, he made some money back. But he lost his career. And now he's out trying to redeem himself. We saw last week he put out workout videos. You broke it down, Bray. He's looking good out there. He's kept in shape. Obviously, he's not in quarterback football shape yet. But you know what? This weekend, he's going to get an opportunity to not only be an honorary captain in Ann Arbor, but there can be scouts at the game, and he will throw at halftime of the game. So you're not only going to see a spring game, you're going to see Colin Kaepernick work out.
Can't wait to get into some of that, talk about him working out at halftime. I think that's an amazing thing that Jim Harbaugh is putting forth for Colin Kaepernick. He'll get some. Big Ten Network will be there. I'm sure ESPN, some other places will be there. Right. So people will get a chance to see that. He'll have some film to show some teams. But even just going back to the political side of things, listen, the NFL, who had one of the biggest problems with it, who colluded to keep him out of the NFL, who you saw that, well, we didn't necessarily see the receipts, but they know they had the receipts. That's why they had to settle out of court.
They paid the bill.
The NFL forgave Cap, which they had nothing to forgive him for, but they moved on from Cap. They now support Black Lives Matter. They now support, remember what happened last year with Leonard Floyd, or 2 years ago with Leonard Floyd. Remember how big the NFL turned in? They got behind Leonard Floyd. They got behind that movement. They talked about that. They raised money for that. They shed light on that. Everything that Colin Kaepernick was trying to spearhead, everything that he was trying to get people to start to pay attention to, the NFL got there. So if the NFL can get there, why can't these people get there and move on? I don't understand it.
So let's move it beyond the politics, right?
Yeah.
The kneeling and the NFL and the settlement and all that. Do you think someone could sit out of the NFL that long at the quarterback position, come into the league and be effective?
Hell of a transition. The honest answer is no. If I was the GM of a team, the honest answer is I don't believe an individual can sit out at that position. We talk about the most important position in sports. You talk about it being the quarterback. You can't sit out 5 years in that position and then come back. Granted, he didn't play very long in the beginning. He didn't have any major injuries in the beginning. Right. So he hasn't been taking hits. He hasn't been hit. His physical level is still there. He's still an athletic specimen. So I get all that, but it's tough. Like Michael Vick talked about it. Michael Vick was out for 2 years when he had to sit down and he had to go to jail for the dogfighting deal. He said 2 years, and he said it was a struggle trying to get back into that rhythm, trying to get back into learning film and studying film and getting with new teams. He said it's tough. So it's going to be damn hard. I necessarily wouldn't take a chance before I invited him, but that's the key. You want to get him an invitation. The other side of it is he's strong-willed. Like his passion is there. Like some of the measurables that aren't on this piece of paper, or what I'm looking at the combine, some of the measures that aren't on there, like that will, that heart, like just being a good guy, all around good guy, man, wanting to be the guy that's the leader, that's the focal point, that can take the bunt, that can keep going.
Right.
It's like those things that don't show up in the stat sheet, those are reasons why you got to say it might work.
Is he better than David Blau and Tim Boyle?
Yes.
He could play on my team.
And that's been one of the questions, though, about Kaepernick, too. Is he willing to take a backup role?
Sure,
because he's been offered a couple backup roles. I know with Seattle a couple years ago, they were talking to him about that. You were going to back up Russell Wilson, but he wanted to be the starter. He still thought he had the chops to be the starter.
I don't think that was the real.
You don't think that was real?
No, I don't think so at all.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't think he was allowed to come back till now.
Yeah, I think that was part of the deal. Because I also don't know when that would have been in a snapshot of when the settlement happened, when all that happened. I think that would be tough. And once again, I don't know.
Right.
But with that being said, I definitely know. He just wants to be in the NFL. I think part of it, the big deal, too, was after – he didn't get back in. Then he starts to talk about there was collusion, and they're now trying to prove the collusion. And then they actually proved the collusion, which is why they settled out of court for an amount we do not know, and we never will. Even back then, you look at it, like Cap wasn't necessarily talking about football. It was everybody else talking about, well, that's not fair. We got to get Cap back. Why won't they hire Cap? Why won't they put him on the team? Why won't they give him a shot? We didn't hear a lot from Cap and wanting to play until the interview. I mean, not the interview. That workout that they set up down in Atlanta.
And then he didn't show up for it.
Because they put a lot of stipulations on it. And once again, we don't know the insides of that, too. A lot of stipulations.
And there's just so many layers to this story.
So many.
But the bottom line is Kaepernick's going to get a look this Saturday from some professional coaches.
Yeah.
And,
Here in Michigan.
And you're thinking the great name that you brought up earlier,
Jim
Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is going to show up. They got a quarterback who Kaepernick could fit into that offense, right? You got a Lamar Jackson who has been injured previously last year.
Yeah.
That may be a good landing spot for him.
Well, Ravens got that guy. That guy, and I forget his name.
But they lost
He stepped right in. He was terrific.
He was, and their other guy stepped in and was good as well. Huntley. They lost Huntley,
That's
though.
it. That's what I meant. Huntley.
So they lost Huntley last year in the offseason. So, you just look at it as he just needs a chance. I think people need to forget the past. He's right here. This is now the NFL has seemingly forgot about it or seemingly moved from it. They're now supporting Black Lives Matter. They were very instrumental in the Leonard Floyd and raising money and things of that nature. So if they can move past, let's move past. Let's make it about football, not about politics.
Yeah, and that's what I'm about, between the lines, and that's what we were kind of discussing before the show. Like, Kaepernick, when all this started, he was like the second or third string quarterback at that point. And I'm more worried about his skills getting back in the league because, this is a man's league. You go out there with diminished skills, you're going to get hurt.
He's older, too. He's 34 or 35, man. It's not – that ain't the old Cap.
Right.
Yeah, but the good thing, the interesting thing about that, I know we got to get to a break. The interesting thing about that is where the NFL is gone. These quarterbacks are playing a little bit longer. You see Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady's a unicorn, so you can't really use his name. But you see Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
You see Phillip Rivers play kind of long. Like, they're starting to play longer. Russell's starting to get up there a little bit. The Russell's 33, 34. So they're starting to get up there. So I think the age at 34, not having that much wear and tear and physicality put on his body, I think that's not a problem. It's about the mindset. Like, how is, like, watching film, breaking down film. How much of quarterback mental has he been doing over the past 5-6 years? Has he been sitting down and breaking down film? Like, how much of that has he been doing?
Well, we'll find out Saturday at halftime. He's trying out. We don't know what NFL teams are going to be there, but rumor is Colin Kaepernick's going to have a tryout for some NFL teams at the Michigan spring game this
Is that free,
Saturday.
by the way? Is that a free game to go to?
Yeah, spring game's free, yeah.
I'll tell you one coach who won't be there, Bruce Arians, because he ain't a coach anymore. We're going to discuss that coming up next right here. This is the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. That is Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, and, of course, the promo code Woodward. Make sure you use that promo code because they're giving you free money. That's right. Your first deposit, they'll match it all the way up to $1,000. You get to use it this weekend. It is the Final Four coming to you from New Orleans. NOLA, as they call it. First game, Villanova against Kansas. KU favored by 4.5. Who do you like in that game? The second game, everybody's waiting for that one. It is Coach K and Duke going against North Carolina. The Tar Heels getting 4.5 in that one. Can't wait. It's the Final Four. You got baseball about to start in another week till opening day. Bet those futures. How about the Tigers over 77? What do you think? Get on it at mybookie.ag. The promo code is Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline. 1-800-270-7117.
And if you're hungry today,
I'm hungry right now.
Oh man, what sounds better than some wings
Lemon
tossed in
pepper.
those awesome sauce? You like the lemon pepper?
I love the lemon pepper.
I'm a Jamaican jerk kind of guy.
Jamaican me crazy.
Yeah, I
Mom.
love it, man. Especially from Wing Snob. If you haven't been there, you are missing out. It's hormone-free chicken. It's that real, authentic stuff. You know, sometimes you go to these chicken places, and you're like, wait a minute,
what is this?
Is this chicken or
No,
what?
it's not
what
chicken.
the hell? It ain't chicken. No, Wing Snob got that
pink
100%
goo.
authentic, fresh, juicy, mouth-watering, delicious. And if you want some, go to wingsnob.com right now. Get your order in today. Put an extra order for me, too. I'll take the 6-piece of Jamaican jerk. Wing Snob. They just have better wings.
Hey, Stick, let me jump in and say something real quick. You talked about I was a handsome guy when the show opened. Man, I saw the picture. Somebody posted something recently on their page. Talking about 235 versus 185.
Uh-oh. Did you just send that to him? Okay.
No, I didn't say no. I didn't say that. I just saw it. 235, 280, 185 now.
I'm down 50
You look
pounds.
amazing.
50 pounds from what I was about this time last year.
Talk to me about the journey, man. How did that happen?
Well, we started a business here at Woodward Sports. Kind of
Say,
stressful.
You know what? Say less. Say less.
No, but really just small life changes, man. Like I used to be the type of guy, like I said, you know, we talked about, I go home and smoke and sit on the couch about 11
Wing
p.m.
snob.
Eat a bunch of Oreos and then
Yeah.
go to bed and just get fat while I was sleeping. So I stopped late night snacking. I got a dog. Makes me walk him every day.
Yeah.
That gets me at least a little bit active. I started playing softball again. So nothing like I had to completely change my
Right.
life. Just a little couple life adjustments, and here we are down 50. I feel better, and I look better naked than.
Well, I was going to say I agree with all the other stuff, not that part, but I hope to never see that part. But hey, man, like you said, less is more.
Yep, less of me is a lot more of me, and I honestly I feel more comfortable. My knees feel better, and you know once you
Shock
take,
absorbers, man.
once you
Tell
take
me about
50
it.
pounds off your
Yeah.
back, it's insane. It really
Start
is.
walking straight up again.
Yep, yeah, just
you
feel
go.
better in
I
general.
found your 50, unfortunately.
No, you didn't, man.
Well, I may have lost some weight, but Bruce Arians lost his head coaching job, and he's no longer the head coach, but he's transitioned.
Was it his choice?
That's the big question. And by his press conference today, it did not really feel like it was his choice. He was like, I'm just up here because you guys need something to write about. But yeah, Bruce Arians transitioning up into the front office or whatever title
Yeah.
they're giving him. He said he doesn't even know what it means, the title that they're giving him. So kind of a little bit, did Tom Brady push him out? Like, hey, I'll come back if you get Bruce out of here. But I also don't want to leave Todd Bowles by the wayside, too, because Todd Bowles is somebody we've been discussing for years.
Yeah.
For years. Like, why isn't this guy getting a look?
Because he sucked with the Jets?
Well, but the
Oh, we'll
consensus,
get into that.
the consensus was like maybe he was waiting for Arians to get out, kind of like a similar situation which is going on in Kansas City. You know, once Andy Reid leaves,
Eric Bieniemy.
and Bieniemy's
Yeah.
going to be up next, and that's why he's not getting all these other head coaching jobs because he's going on the interviews being like, "Hey, I'm next here. If you got a better offer, we can talk." But
All right.
I'm pretty good set up. Let's hit on Bruce Arians first, though. You think that's a Tom Brady decision or a Bruce Arians decision?
I think it's a mixture of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a mixture of things. You look at, even if you start with their first year, the year that they won the Super Bowl, you know, they got into it on the sideline a couple of times. They talked about it in the media. That was very public. People saw that. They definitely were clashing heads. They were bumping heads on the sideline, bumping heads in meetings. You heard Rob Gronkowski as well as Tom Brady talking about the game plan situation. They were sitting there with Byron Leftwich going over the game plan situation, and they had taken away from what Bruce Arians wanted the first 14 to be. And he comes up there, he rips it up. He rips it up and starts, you know, say, hey, this isn't what we're going to do. This is not what I said we were going to do. You look at the situation this past season where he hits the player on the sideline. You know, you look at AB in that situation, how Tom wanted AB. Bruce Arians didn't want AB. Then Bruce Arians kicks him off the field. You know, you don't know how it made Tom feel. I think the big thing about it was, let's call it the truth, Bruce Arians isn't a young guy. And he's been coaching for a long time.
Yep.
He's an older guy. His health is always in question. He walks around with the strap, which is connected to his, which is hard. Like, it's connected to him. So that had to take a toll as well. I'm sure Tom coming back, like Matt said, that's a part of it. Hey, look, I love Bruce, but for me to come back, Bruce can't be the head coach. Now, I'm not saying fire him. I'm not saying whatever, but Bruce can't be the guy. And I think they all just made a grown man decision. If it is what I think it is, everybody can learn from this situation. Tom says, I don't want it to be Bruce. Bruce says, hey, you know what? I want a Super Bowl. I'm getting old. I'm out anyway. You know what? I tell you this. If it's not me, let me place the head coach. Let me make it Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a guy that I brought in from the Jets. He had a bad shake with the Jets, and we'll get into that too. Make it Tom Bowles. I'll stay in front office. I'll stay the hell out the way. You guys run the show and have fun. I got my ring.
Right.
I think that's how the situation played out, and I think they all made a grown man decision, and you got to love it.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The more I thought about it, I think it's a mutual kumbaya.
Yep.
Brady and him do get along. They might not have, you don't always agree with your coach. Your coach doesn't always agree with you. Look at Belichick and him.
Yep,
I mean, they fought too. That's what you do. Just because it's your idea, it doesn't mean it's the right idea all the time. Yeah. You got to listen to your peers. I do the same thing here. I'm always thinking I'm right. You guys like Maz, do this, do that. It's just that you got to just be flexible. Tom Brady coming back, they got a hell of a shot. They got a hell of a team. Why the hell not? It just works out. But Todd Bowles, to me, I know you get a second chance. I'm happy you get a second chance. But what did he do with the Jets? Go ahead, tell me.
This is what I say is.
But what has anybody done with the Jets? Let's be honest.
All right, good point.
Let's be honest.
Never mind. Rex Ryan did pretty well.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Sexy Rex. I love Sexy Rex. I was on a team with him, 2 teams, great coach. The thing about it that I love in this situation, man, it's not necessarily getting opportunities. This is anything in life. And Ryan talks about it a lot. Maz, you've talked about it a lot. It's not where you go. It's not when you go, it's where you go. It's the situation you go in. It's not who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Every time a black coach gets a head job, think about the teams they're taking over. Just think about teams they're taking over. Look at Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith just took over the Texans right now. Dumpster fire.
Right.
Jim Caldwell took over the Detroit Lions. Enough said. Romeo Crennel took over the Cleveland Browns when I was there. My first year was Romeo Crennel's first year. Enough said. Ray Rose took over the Phillies in the early 90s. Trash. Like every time they get an opportunity, with the exception of Mike Tomlin, who took over a great situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're getting bad opportunities, so they're getting run out the door faster. Now Ty has a chance to be with a team, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay. They're 2 years removed from a Super Bowl. Now he gets to start with a good team. Now you can judge and see how a person can do. So that's the thing I love about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just applies to really most head coaching situations, though, right? Like, most head coaches, first time when they come in, they're taking over a crappy team. That's just part of what it is. Like, look at Dan Campbell. He took over a crappy team. So I think that applies to a lot more than just black head coaches, but I can see your point by saying that, listen, there's only a small amount of black coaches, and look at the opportunities that they've gotten.
And then, like you said, like they all go to crappy teams, whether it's white or black, it doesn't matter. They typically go to
you're not going to get rid of a winner, right?
Exactly. If you need a coach, you're not going to go to a good team. The difference is they run them out faster. Like, they run them out faster. You look at Jim Caldwell. Like, they run those guys out faster. So the good thing is he's starting at a point where he's good. So now he doesn't have to worry about necessarily being run out of town in 2 years.
Right. And if you listen to Adam this morning on the morning show talking about Jim Caldwell and discrediting what he did here in Detroit, it just blows my mind that Adam still stands on that hill that Jim Caldwell is not the best coach in Lions history, when everything that you use as an indicator of a good coach points to that.
Right.
Wins, win percentage, points, like development of like everything. So, Adam, I have my airtime now. I'm giving it back, baby.
Hey, losing record against winning teams. Just losing record against winning teams.
Okay.
Very bad.
But overall, the winningest coach of all time.
Not great on the sidelines. Game manager.
I don't need a guy.
I know the players
like personality.
Like him. I'm just telling you, he's not perfect.
I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying he's the best that we've ever had.
I get it.
And that's not disputable to me. That's not even an argument to me, because
I agree.
Numbers tell me that it is.
Numbers say it's right.
Right.
Mike Tannenbaum, your former GM. When we come back, we got to play it. It's his take on the Brady and Bowles relationship.
I wouldn't mind hearing it when we come back.
When we come back, you want to hear it? All right, we'll do that. We'll do that when we come back. Sorry, I was waiting for Alex to throw it up there. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. He will be back tomorrow. That is Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade around the issues of substance use disorder and mental health. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives using this formula and take a stance against these issues. The Sports Marketing Agency podcast has just started here with Woodward Sports, and it is a great podcast. It deals with the issues of mental health. It talks about substance use disorder and how you can recognize the signs and how you can get better and how you can get reach and outreach. Part of the way in which you can get help is by about you visit their website, thesportsma.com, thesportsma.com for all issues you need around those issues. Please visit.
Well, to Chris's point, the big winner in this is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and here's why. Everything they do is about, does this increase or decrease the chances of Tom Brady coming back next year? I worked for Coach Belichick twice. I've worked with Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is very similar to Bill Belichick in how he holds players accountable, the environment he creates, and Teddy alluded to it. I think Tom will be much more comfortable in the environment that Todd Bowles creates, taking nothing away from what Bruce Arians accomplished, obviously winning a Super Bowl champion. But moving forward, I think this is a great move for them because when we get to March of next year, I think Tom's going to be a lot more comfortable being in this environment under Coach Bowles. And the other part, Greeny, is they still have some meaningful free agents. Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh. Todd Bowles is revered by players, especially on defense. If those two guys don't get what they want in the free agent market, I could see them coming back on a discount. So now you have Tom Brady attracting offensive players on one side of the ball and Todd Bowles attracting players on the other side of the ball. I think this puts them right up at the top of the NFC again.
So there's Mike Tannenbaum talking about Todd Bowles now taking over for Bruce Arians. We are live. It's the Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line, my name is Stick. Braylon is here. Maz is here. Sam is here. Yeah. Alex Mayer. And there's a tweet by Ndamukong Suh saying, hey, guys, don't forget about me.
You know, Mike Tannenbaum talked about Todd Bowles coming back, getting some guys on the other side of the ball. Well, like Ndamukong said, the only thing you guys are missing is me. And Ndamukong was a part of that team when they won that Super Bowl. You know, that defensive line. That team is not the same team that they were that year.
Right.
That's going to be the interesting thing, and we can get into that. Obviously, Todd Bowles being the front man now, being the head man, he won't be a part of the defense as much. That's typically what happens when you become a head coach, unless your name is Sean Payton. But there's some interesting sites by Mike Tannenbaum thinking about the consistency. I think there was a kind of like the Wild Wild West for Tampa, and maybe not the Wild Wild West in terms of the Wild Wild West, but where Tom is coming from in New England, everything is consistent, everything is by the book, everything is the same as it is. Monday is Monday, Tuesday is Tuesday, Wednesday is Wednesday. The way we do things is the way we do things. I think Bruce Arians a lot more free. You know, things change from day to day. It might not be the same this Tuesday, the following Tuesday. So I think part of that may have Tom a little off. They still won a Super Bowl, but to a certain extent, as you get older, you do want things to calm down because that Wild Wild West mentality didn't work last year.
Well, and think about this. If Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl under his third head coach, that's even another feather in his cap. Not only did he get one for Belichick, got many for Belichick, he got one for Arians, and if he gets one for Todd Bowles, that's pretty damn impressive. So you were talking about the team being different. One guy now that kind of had a problem with Arians, Tom wanted him there. Do you bring Antonio Brown back in his antics? Because I was under the impression that was the last I had ever seen of Antonio Brown on a football field. When you're stripping and throwing your clothes into the stands, that's usually the end of your career. But Tom Brady has proven that he's the big, on campus, and if he starts swinging it, people are going to listen to him.
I tell you like this, I don't want to see Antonio Brown anywhere near my franchise. I don't want to see him anywhere near the facility. I don't want to see him. I don't even want him in the same city or the same state. I think he's done enough. And the big thing about it is it's not just that it did not work in Tampa. And yes, there's the verdict still out on what happened with his ankle injury as it relates to Bruce Arians, the medical.
He lied about it.
Well, not necessarily.
He put out that fake X-ray from 3 weeks prior, for like 3 months prior.
It was long enough, but at the same time, you do have on record that he didn't practice that week because of his ankle. He didn't play the week because of his ankle. He did have a strained ankle 3 weeks before that.
How much of that the injury report is real or fabricated?
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Did you see his tweets? He says, I want to come back and I want to get my ankle looked at. I want to get my ankle. I want to have surgery on my ankle, but I'm going to wait until a team signs me. He also said, I'll go to the worst team in the league and we'll go to the Super Bowl. This is what he's been tweeting today.
Let's go. You want to prove something, Antonio Brown? You want to prove that you can actually elevate a team, take them? Come to the Detroit Lions. No. Because if you do it here, you will have statues. You will be recognized throughout the entire NFL for the entire history of the NFL. Anyway. Like, that's the guy that went to Detroit and made them a champion. I don't care. I'm on record as saying we don't need choir boys here. I want people who have stabbed people. I want people who have been in JUCO and have some issues. Like, those are the guys I want to build around. We need some attitude. Yeah, I'll take OJ. Yeah, just give me some of that locker room mentality.
You really want AB back? He'll be on Hard Knocks again.
Oh my God!
Remember the last time he was on Hard Knocks?
Dude,
he quit the team basically the last time he was on Hard Knocks with the Raiders.
I'm all for it, man. Especially if he's saying he can make any loser a winner. Prove it. Put your money where your mouth is. Come on, big boy.
AB's talent is undeniable. It's unquestionable. At one period in time, AB was on his way to become the best wide receiver of all time. Yeah. Or he was on his way to break the records. He was on his way. He had a 6-year window that is one of the best 6-year windows that you will ever see in the history of the NFL at any position. It's a really good window. With that being said, everywhere he's left, he's just left it a complete mess. He's dropped nuke after nuke after nuke after nuke. Hiroshima and Nagasaki ain't got nothing on him. I'm talking about literally he dissed Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft gave you a chance after the BS you pulled in Oakland at the time. I almost said Vegas. Oakland at the time. You leave there, you come down to Tampa. You see what he did down in Tampa. Bruce Arians. We don't know the full situation, but I know enough to know it was some BS. You faked the immunization card. Like, everywhere he goes. Like, he dissed Mike Tomlin. I've never heard anyone diss Mike Tomlin, whether it be a player, whether it be somebody who worked in the front office, whether it be somebody just worked in the building, whether it be a fan. I've never heard anybody diss Mike Tomlin. I'm tired of the nukes. I'm tired of the bombs. Plus, he doesn't like he want to play football right now. He signed up with Donda and Kanye, so let him do that.
He wants to own a team, right?
No, hell no.
Hey, he could own this entire city if he takes us to at least a playoff win. Imagine Antonio Brown catching that playoff win touchdown at the last moment from Jared Goff.
Right.
Yeah. No, see, I'm living in a fantasy land. I don't want Antonio Brown here, but if you're going to run your mouth and say that you can do that, I know of a team that could use some help.
I did see this. It was an interesting story, and I forgot to send it to Alex, so this is on me. The Bucs have 2 players that have darn near the same last name, and it's the same inspiration. They just got Shaq. Hold on, I know I'm reading. I do apologize, but I thought this was pretty interesting. They already had Shaq Barrett on their team, right? Now, Shaq Barrett's name in full is Shaquille Akeem Barrett. He's named after, go figure, Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon. They just picked up Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason's name is Shaquille Olajuwon Mason. What are the odds that you got 2 guys with the same inspiration for the name, born a year apart on the same team? That's got to be like...
That's a million. That's more than a million.
Yeah, that's got to be an infinity to one if that's such a thing.
Yeah, that is crazy. What are they, 8 billion people on the planet? I guarantee those are probably the only 2.
2 in the world.
and they wound up professional football players?
And the other thing, neither of them play basketball.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Bucs this year. Are you putting money on them to get back to the Super Bowl?
NFL's too fickle. I'm not putting any money on anybody. I don't know who the hell, because anybody can win it. Like some of the teams that you're not even talking about. The Rams. I know the Rams won, and we gave Matthew Stafford way too many flowers. But they can win it. The moves that they made a lot of quiet moves off season. Everybody has a chance. But to that, it's Tom Brady. Always has a chance when you got Tom Brady.
How'd you like a rematch, Rams and Bucks?
I'll pass.
I'm talking, NFC playoffs.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Rams, Bucks.
I'm good with that.
Run it back, man, because Brady brought him back from the depths. He's sitting on the sidelines, and Stafford hits Cup, and they kick the winning field goal and ends Brady's career for a month.
For a whole month.
But ended it, and he said, what did
I snatched his soul.
Snatch the soul. So
I snatched his soul.
I think Brady wants to snatch
and that's
his
where
soul.
that Jordan,
snatch something.
The Jordan meme comes in and I take that personally.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Sam, what you got for us?
So, Maz, you keep saying that Brady brought them back. How many times did the Rams fumble?
Yes,
did Brady?
The Rams helped them.
Did Brady cause the Rams center to snap the ball over Stafford's head? No, it's a team game. Brady did not bring them back.
Brady did bring them back.
If it wasn't for the Rams crapping all over themselves, Brady would have had no chance with the Buccaneers. That's just facts.
Well,
Sam, you don't have to twist my arm to not like Brady. But I'll tell you, he was the quarterback and he threw the touchdown passes and they tied the game.
Did Stafford come back in the Super Bowl?
Yes, but
then Brady came back. Like, it's the same thing.
It's a team game. It was
Yes, of
27.
course.
There were 4 turnovers. It was one of the worst choke jobs ever by the Rams.
Yes, it was.
Cam Akers kept fumbling every time he got the ball. The Rams center snapped the ball.
But you
over
have to
Stafford's
take
head.
those turnovers and put them in the end zone, right?
Yes, but
Otherwise,
short
it's just a
field.
turnover.
The only thing I'll give him credit for is that Evans bomb. That was great. But short field merchant Tom Brady strikes again, like always.
Still touchdowns.
At the end of the day, that happens in every game. You can almost say that about any game. You can always say, well, if this didn't happen, or if this person didn't do this, or if the offense
If
didn't
Grandma
do this
had
day,
balls,
or
she'd
if
be Grandpa.
Or if the defense didn't do that this day. So with that being said, I understand that. But Tom still, like, here's the thing. When you get put in situations, you got to be ready to respond. It doesn't matter about how you got to that situation. When the situation showed themselves, Tom responded. So that's all you can judge Tom on is, was he ready? What's the best availability? I mean, what's the best ability? It's availability. He had the ability to beat Tom Brady at all.
Well, we'll find out come this season, but let's get into some Lions talk coming up next. Brockers did a great interview talking about Dan Campbell. I laughed like 3 times in this 2-minute interview.
Yeah, it's a really good interview.
Just because I would love to, I really want to be a part of this Lions organization right now, and I think we all want to see behind the curtain a little bit more, which is great why we have Hard Knocks, because we get to see behind the curtain, and I'm very excited for that. So we will talk about that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody listening on the Roar right now and who have downloaded the app. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. That is Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line. Smash that like button while you're at it.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hey, everybody, if you haven't gone to the Folding Warehouse at Hamtramck, you're missing out on a lot of fun. Folding, what is it? It's the football bowling game. That's right. Just take the football and throw it down the lane and knock down as many pins as you can without throwing your arm out. Don't forget the inventor will be there to help you with all the rules. His name is Chris Hutt. Make sure you tell him the people at Woodward Sports sent you down. Couple of ways to play. $10 unlimited open play, or you can have a private lane reservation, 10 of your closest friends and family. That'll run you $120 for 2 hours. Get your drink on, multiple full bars, over 100 beers to choose from, and a $2 mystery beer machine to boot. Get that Colt 45 or whatever, Pabst Blue Ribbon, whatever the heck. Maybe a Schaefer will come out of there. Rheingold from back in the old days. How about get your food on? Bring it in, have it delivered. They don't care. The place is huge. Have a picnic for all they care. Get your fold on right now. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
You know what's around the corner from the Folding Warehouse is Midtown. In Midtown is the Detroit Performance Center, and in the Detroit Performance Center is the new Planet Fitness, and it is awesome. This is where you need to go. Planet Fitness understands that your fitness is essential. Only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10, Sam. I appreciate you saying that every day because I do get excited. Only $10 it takes you to get in shape in home of the judgment-free zone, which means you can go in and work out with your 2-pound weights, 5-pound weights, 200-pound weights. Doesn't matter because nobody's paying attention to you. They want you in your own zone feeling good. $22.99 for the black card if you want to really turn it up. 2,000 locations worldwide. That means there is a Planet Fitness somewhere near you. Sign up in person, $0 down, or sign up online, planetfitness.com. Your fitness is essential.
So let's talk about the Lions here a little bit with you. On a scale of 1 to Dan Campbell, how crazy is your coach?
That's funny. He's Dan Campbell. He's all the way there. He hits it and surpasses it.
He is.
He is. And that's him on a daily. That's him in our pregame speeches. You know, after practices, that's him all the time.
Well, because the one thing that I noticed right from the get-go when you started playing is that the team never gave up. Never.
Right.
Never gave up. And, you know, those December games for a team that's not making the playoffs, Deion Sanders taught me a long time ago, and Marshall Faulk and all the other Hall of Famers I've been so fortunate to be around as a broadcaster would call them U-Haul games, where the U-Haul's backed up. Everybody's out, and the last thing anybody wants to do is be rehabbing an injury in January when December games do not matter. But I did not see that at all for the Lions this past year. Why? Why do you think?
We enjoy playing for him. He's the iconic players coach. He was a player, so he understands what we go through mentally, physically throughout the year. So he understands, man, that sometimes, your body's going to hurt. Let me give these guys a little break, in his situation, we're such a young team, so he has to play that fence kind of, he has to work it a little bit. But, for the most part, the guys understand that he's looking out for their best benefit. And, when you have a guy that looks out for you, you want to look out for him. So going all out, that's one thing. That's what we're about.
You weren't on the team yet when he was hired, though, right? Where you were? Were you on the team?
I was a part of the whole new revamp, of the team. So when he got hired, I was soon to be hired after that.
That's what I was about to ask about, how you might have taken in his opening foray press conference about biting kneecaps and things like that. It was
a little, out there, but I got what he meant, and that's what you've seen from us this year. Is we're not going to give up. We don't care who you are. We understand that we are the Detroit Lions, and everybody has a stigma about us. But we're changing, and we're coming for you. And I love his whole statement about welcome to Detroit, because that's what we're all about. We have Hard Knocks here this year,
yes,
so I'm excited. This is my third time doing it, and this is a good time to show the people, the fans around the world what we're about. It's not all about the X's and O's, man. You get to see a lot of these coaches on this coaching staff that have played in this game. We also, Aaron Glenn, he's a phenomenal cornerback in the league.
Yes.
He's our defensive coordinator. He has a lot of things that we do, old school type thing, up downs. We'll be doing up downs in training camp, stuff like that. So you'll see a lot of that from our staff, and I'm excited for him.
And there's Brockers talking about his experience this year coming over from the LA Rams, which, God, that's got to hurt leaving the team, watch them go win the Super Bowl. You're coming here. But it doesn't. He seems unbothered by it because of the man that he's playing for and the culture and the tradition, hopefully, that they're building in Detroit. And, to kick off that, on a scale of 0 to Dan Campbell, how crazy is your coach?
That was pretty good.
He's like, it's Dan Campbell crazy, even more than that.
It's that witty Michigan sense of humor that we have right there, Rich Eisen.
Brockers going for 3 times on Hard Knocks. Braylon, you were on it once.
Goff too.
Yeah.
Goff is on it again. And we kind of talked about it on Monday when it got announced, just how it affects the locker room and stuff like that. And it's got to be different for a guy like Brockers, too, because now this is old hat for him. For the new guys, It's got to be crazy exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's one of those things where it's fun. Literally after about the first 3-4 days, you forget the cameras are there. But you do try to get in camera shots. You do try to go when they set up a shoot for somebody else, because they set up different storylines. And I think that's the fun thing. We talked about this in terms of Hard Knocks. Is you get a chance to learn players on the team. Everybody knows the stars. Everybody knows the 22. Sometimes you don't know all of them. But who's the 23rd guy? Who's the 24th guy? Who's that guy that didn't get drafted, but he's busted his butt and he has a chance to be a starter this year? Things like that. That's where you find the niche. The things that I took from this interview is 2 major things. One, last year we were talking about, I think you and I talked about when we did Tin Roof. Shout out to Tin Roof. We did the pregame shows with the Riff. Is what are we trying to accomplish in December?
Right.
The Lions aren't winning. The Lions, what do you want to do in December? How do you want to finish the season off? And the big thing is you want to play for your coach. You want to play ball. You want to show that I'm still giving my all my effort. You want to coach the hardest. You still want to let up on your players a little bit. It's that give and take. Hey, I know these guys have had a long year. Let me give them a day off right here. But, hey, since my coach gave me that day off, let me show I'm fighting through the whole season. Because around that time when you're not in the playoffs, if you're going to be a playoff team by October.
Right.
And so what happens is you're not a playoff team, or you're that team that 1 wins or 2 wins. You start making plans to Aruba. You and the family are going to Turks and Caicos. That's where your mind.
Tulum, baby.
Oh man, you got big money. So that's where your mindset is. So once you get into December, those plans are already booked. So now in December, You start seeing doubtful for practice today. You start seeing I got a bit of an ankle injury, or he's nursing a hamstring. Like not major injuries, but things that they say all weekend. Then guys don't play. That's guys because they don't want to get hurt. The season is over. They're like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm trying to worry about the offseason. The Lions players didn't worry about the offseason. The Lions players play all 17 games. They play all the way through December, and Dan Campbell appreciates them. That says a lot about the coach. The other thing I take about why having Hard Knocks, it's a great time to shed light on the city of Detroit. I think HBO has a unique opportunity here. So much has been talked about Detroit. They're this, they're that, they're bankrupt, they're this. You'll get robbed, you'll get mugged. It's a bunch of abandoned buildings. There's so much has been made about our proud city. This is a chance for HBO to get it right. Highlight the things that we're doing well in the community, in the city, the diversity, the unity. Highlight that. I think that can put out there and give Detroit a better look.
I got an idea.
Before we get to that, one question. How accurate was their storytelling on Hard Knocks? Like, how much did they fabricate through creative editing and stuff like that? Or was it all just, hey, this is what it was?
No, it's all real.
Okay.
Like, no,
That's good to know. That is good to know.
They're not going to fabricate anybody.
Okay.
Like, the things that they do, the storylines they have, they're not creating storylines because they're going to win an Emmy. Or they're going to, it looks better on TV if they come from this angle. Maybe we exaggerate a little bit here, or we take back because we don't want to expose this. They put the real out there.
I'll tell you, Chad and Lady Jane's should get a hold of the Lions and get them all over here for a haircut all together. A hot lather, neck shave.
There you go.
The works. Have them come in, show our studios, show Birmingham. Because remember, when Jared Goff came here, I bring it up all the time, he had security with him.
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh, man, this place is pretty damn good. This is this is a suburb of Detroit. This is, you don't only have to just be in Detroit, which is really night and day now from what it used to be. But to have these suburbs, Royal Oak, Birmingham, Troy, whatever.
I mean, let's be honest.
St. Clair
Detroit
Shores.
is what it is, too. Like, we've earned a lot of that national reputation. And that's one thing I love about this city is
I agree.
If you step out of line, you are going to get smacked. You are going to get, bad things will happen to you. Because I've lived in other cities, too, where people just act a fool and just do whatever the hell they want. Like, Detroit checks you in that certain way. And I think a lot of out-of-towners don't really understand that check. It's like, no. This is a place built on respect. You respect me, I'm going to respect you. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you times 10.
Yeah, also, but definitely in that regard, talking about the physicality, talking like, hey, your bond is your word.
Right.
You as a man, acting like a man, showing respect. You get respect in Detroit.
Yep.
The other side of it is just talking about from a financial institution, an economical situation. They have dogged Detroit for years because Detroit has also needed to be dogged for years. But you look at last year, we put it up, and I kind of forgot what the glance at it was. What Michigan and Detroit was #1 in terms of economic, social infrastructure that they made over the last year.
Yeah, exactly. The #1 economy state in the nation.
There we go. See, exactly what he said is what I meant. And that's something that needs to be highlighted, and that's something that can be highlighted on HBO.
And Jeff Okuda, I think they're going to look at him and watch
He's going to be the story.
Watch him coming back, and they're going to also be looking at Malik Willis. So, there's a lot to talk about.
Well, speaking of Malik Willis, a mock draft came out, and it's quite possibly the most ideal situation that the Lions could ever fall into, and we want to talk about that mock draft coming up next right here on Woodward Sports. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Ermani today. That is the legend Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th, Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, everybody, we are almost a week away. Tomorrow, we will be a week away from opening day downtown in Detroit at the Comerica Park. It's the Tigers and the White Sox, but we at Woodward Sports are going to be all over it. Our whole entire family will be down there. Family! Come on down and see us. We started off at 8 in the morning, the Morning Woodward Show, and Adam, unless he gets thrown out, from the brass rail.
And Terry Foster.
And T. Foss, his first week finishing up down in Detroit. Big D Energy, they're going to go a little bit further than that. The Music Hall Amphitheater, they'll be there between 11 and 1. And then us guys, the Bottom Line, back at the brass rail for some pizza and some other good stuff between 2 and 4. Lots of stuff to go on, live broadcasts, opening day parties, and the keg holding competition. What's that going to be like?
I hosted it a couple years ago, and we're going to do it at the music hall. You get about 5 people, and they hold the keg above their head, and whoever lets it drop last is going to win some cool prizes. Usually we give away a bar tab. So,
I love it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing there.
So we need some Woodward heavyweights there, perhaps.
Well, that's the thing. Honestly, the Woodward heavyweights are just going to be roaming around the city doing their street stuff that entire day. Like, we have a whole plan for opening day. So come on down. You're going to experience Woodward Sports in some capacity.
Next Friday, April the 8th. Come on down. Woodward Sports taking over the D.
Heck yeah, I love opening day, and I also love Les Stanford. If you have not been to Les Stanford in Dearborn, check them out. They're right on Michigan Avenue, and he is the Corvette King, and I'm talking about this brand new Corvette. It is the most beautifully designed Corvette I've ever seen, 0 to 60 in like 2.6 seconds. Woo! So they got that type of stuff if you want it. But if you're also in a situation like some other people and you want to get out of your lease and you want to get into a little better car, a little more comfy car, they can take care of that too because they are your lease expert. So if you're looking for a new car, there's one place to go, and that is Les Stanford. Make sure you go to lesstanford.com or give them a call today, 313-565-6000. Les Stanford, find new roads.
Find them.
Here.
What do you
Hey, man, leave my boy alone.
Is Adam in here crying about Jim Caldwell?
He
This is harassment.
They drop all my papers. You know why you bust my
Harassment.
balls? Because I agreed with you about Jim Caldwell's a better coach than he thinks he is.
Yeah, Adam doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't even watch football.
That's what he's coming for.
I don't think he does. I don't think Adam watches football.
Adam's a student of the game. He's just wrong on this one.
No, I'm lying. Adam does more research than anybody here,
Yeah.
so no, I definitely know he does. He just loves to be an antagonist.
Jim Caldwell, best coach ever, Adam. Best coach.
My
Best
God.
coach. So mock drafts have been flying around. If you haven't caught the morning show, they do a mock draft every Monday, and they also let you submit their mock drafts so Adam can rip them apart. So make sure you get those to us.
Oh, yeah, we do them every day.
Yeah, that's right, because it's mock draft season. We're like 4 weeks away.
Exactly 4 weeks away.
Exactly 4 weeks away from hearing that beautiful, beautiful sound. One more time for me, Sam.
Hey, look,
our Super Bowl.
Hey, Stick, look to your left. Oh, you missed it.
Oh, is that guy lighting
Guy
a
was
blunt?
checking
He was
himself
staring at
out.
you.
The guy's lighting a blunt right here. All right.
He was staring at you.
Birmingham has
He said Travis
changed.
Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
He did, though.
So a
Good
mock
call.
draft came out. Joel Klatt, he's got this mock draft, and he's got the Lions, obviously.
He loves Michigan.
We have 2 first-round picks. So he has us taking Kyle Hamilton at number 2, which in a vacuum I don't love. It's like, okay, that's not my pick at number 2. But then you get down to number 32, and look who he has for us, Mr. Malik Willis. And I am telling you this much. If we can walk out of the first round with Kyle Hamilton and Malik Willis, I will be the happiest Lions fan that I have been in a long time. I will feel like last year when we got Penei Sewell.
Yep.
I'll feel like we just stole the first round.
There's that magical word again, if.
If.
There's that magic word.
You didn't steal
If.
it, by the way.
If.
Oh, we stole that
If.
first
No,
round.
you didn't.
Yes,
the
we
Cowboys stole it.
did. Parsons, get out of here with that.
No, you get out.
Get out. Come on, man. So we're
No,
really going to have
please.
this conversation?
Really? Don't
we have
say
a
they stole it.
generational lineman now.
Yeah, you have a generational linebacker, defensive end.
Who's going to pull his ACL? I
Okay.
mean, Parsons great, but
Whatever.
we need to build the interior before we get
Talk
to
to
the.
me. Talk to me this year.
I'll talk to you every year. The
fine.
best part is I get to talk to you for like the next 15 years because
Yes.
that's where we have our guy from now on.
Amen.
Sorry, Braylon. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you guys are good. I was just enjoying it. But I would have to lean on the side with Maz because Michael Parsons will create a Super Bowl. Penei Sewell will not. Now, I think they're both generational. No. They're both generational players. I'm just saying if you want to argue between the two, an outside linebacker has more of a chance to affect a season and a championship
Unicorn
than a right tackle.
over offensive.
So
tackle.
I would just only say that, but they both are future Hall of Famers.
I have an easier time arguing with Maz than you because you actually played the damn game. So
I've been watching it longer than you're alive.
But speaking of playing the damn game, we got a great segment talking about something else that they've never played the game, but they might be a part of it, talking about women being coaches. We'll get to that.
We will get into that. But with this mock draft, would you guys be happy with Hamilton and Willis? Because like I just said, I'm over here going from 6 to midnight right now if this happens.
If it happens like this, and if is a strong word, but hey, you know what? We're here, we're playing the game, we're in the field. So if that happens like that, I'm good with that. You still get your Malik Willis. You get Kyle Hamilton. We know Kyle Hamilton can play. I didn't like drafting him at 2. I don't think he's a game changer like that to draft at 2. You're talking about drafting the safety at 2. The second spot is for players that are, once again, they're going to get you to the Super Bowl. They're going to be the reason why you get there. They're going to be the reason why you win for a long time.
Right.
Those positions are reserved for, not limited to, but quarterback, left tackle, and rush in. With that being said, if that happens, you get Malik Willis. You get the guy that you say you can work, build a team around. You already have a good offensive line. You already have a good running game. He has Mark Brunell. He has Jared Goff to kind of learn under, get his feet wet, kind of like you saw this year with Trey Lance out there in San Fran, going behind Jimmy G and learning from those guys. Kyle Helms is a good player. Malik Willis, you get them both. Something about it doesn't sit right though. I can't.
He ain't gonna last.
I can't put my finger on it, but
there's not a chance in hell
like
that he goes to that 32.
If I'm looking at my, well, we know that. That's why I said we're playing the if that happens like that. Something about Malik and Kyle just seems incomplete. Like in the first 2 rounds, like I don't know how to explain it, but it seems incomplete. Like if you say Malik and Kyle, I don't know, it just seems incomplete. I don't even know how to explain it, but it seems incomplete.
Now last night, your guy went on TV. Tannenbaum. I watched it. It was an hour-long mock draft. He has the Lions taking Sauce Gardner at 2.
Oh, hell no.
And he's got the Steelers moving up and getting Malik Willis because he said it. And we've all been saying it. They love him. And what does Ryan say? I want what the Steelers want. Right. So if the Steelers like Malik Willis, he's good enough for my sad sack bunch of team. He really is. Then he's got us taking Matt Corral at 32. Tannenbaum does.
Yeah, I don't love Corral. I really don't love Corral. I mean, to me, Willis is the only quarterback in this that has a ceiling that can take you there. Like, the other guys I feel are serviceable, but Willis is my guy at quarterback. If we don't get Malik Willis, we shouldn't take a quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, because the thing about a quarterback, and pretty much, I would say any player, but definitely the quarterback position, is the unknown or the super known is what you feel excited about.
Right.
With Malik Willis, it's the unknown. It's all right. Well, we saw him, but his team was trash. We can make excuses for that. They look bad when they played bigger teams, Lafayette, Louisiana, as well as Ole Miss. They didn't look the same, but you can blame the offensive line. You can blame the running back. You can blame the coach. You can blame everybody. But you saw the intangible. 6 foot, runs 4.4, has a big arm. Love the way in which he talks. Just the rhetoric. Just the I'm coachable.
I want to be helping out a homeless man. Like,
so you love all that, and that's the optimism side versus the other side, which is John Elway. Like John Elway, when he got there, you knew what he was going to be.
Right.
Like there's no mistaking John Elway. You knew what he was going to be in the NFL. Those quarterbacks that fall in the middle of that, that's the snapshot. Like that's Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, I'm like, there's no optimism there. I know what I'm going to get out of Kenny Pickett. I know he's going to be a decent pro, might end up turning into a Kirk Cousins, but nobody talks good about Kirk Cousins around here. So that's the thing. Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell, all those guys fall in the middle. But Malik is the unknown, and then they don't have a guy that is the known.
But to play devil's advocate, like last year, Trevor Lawrence was the known. Like he is going to come in. He's the best quarterback prospect, and his rookie year was disastrous. And now I know the Peyton Mannings of the world also
the organization was disastrous.
Yeah, that is obviously part of it. But so let's move to the number 2 pick, Zach Wilson. He came out. He didn't impress too much. Trey Lance didn't even get a chance to play.
He wasn't even the best rookie quarterback on the team last year.
Exactly.
Mike White was.
Mike White.
But stick. The Jets, they had nobody, bro. They had nobody. They had you at wide receiver. They had Sam at tight end. They didn't have anybody.
That was funny.
No, I get all that, but I'm saying those are the guys that were supposed to be guaranteed hits last year. That's why they went 1, 2, 3, and none of them did a damn thing with their rookie season.
Watch them this year.
I see what Stick is saying, and to what Stick is saying, there's a lot of truth behind it. Give you an example. I know I can keep going backwards, but Peyton Manning was a can't-miss quarterback. Yep. Peyton Manning was the guy, right? Peyton Manning struggled his rookie year, but you still saw he was going to be great.
But even then, there was a debate between him and Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he wasn't even like the guaranteed top guy in that draft. It was, hey, Ryan Leaf, man. And like the Chargers, my God, they went with Ryan Leaf, poor guys. But that's where I stand in this. It's a coin flip to begin with, right? About 50% of these guys pan out to be good, if not great. Outside of that, you'll get serviceable or bad. And to me, Malik Willis is the only guy that I could see potentially being great.
Speaking of coin flip, where are you with the overtime rules?
I love it. That's what I was champion for right after that game.
So you're happy with that?
I'm happy with it. Just in the playoffs.
Okay.
Regular season, that's fine. But playoffs, give everybody a chance.
So Maz and I have gone back and forth. Maz is a fan of giving each team an opportunity.
Yep.
I was more along the lines of, hey, look, you got 60 minutes, make it happen.
Yep.
When you get to extra time, it's called extra. It's miscellaneous. Whatever happens, happens. So I've always been on that side. I've been listening to a lot of defensive guys in the past 4 days. Been listening to a lot of defensive guys in the NFL, either guys that still play in the league or NFL analysts. And all of them are saying the same thing, which makes me feel like I'm right. They're like, yo, we're supposed to win. We have an opportunity to win. Like, the game's over. It's 60 minutes. We have an opportunity.
Logically, that makes a lot of sense.
It's the defensive players saying it. Like, you talk about the instance that made it. Everybody wants the Bills and the Chiefs. They saw that game, and now it's, I never want that game to end. Marcus Spears, analyst for ESPN, my draft class 2005, drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. He said, look, we supposed to stop him. He said,
and that's true.
He said, you talk about the Bills, you talk about the talk about the Chiefs. The Bills had a chance to be on defense, stop the Chiefs, and not even go to overtime.
Right.
How much money do defensive ends make nowadays? How much money do these NFL safeties and linebackers make? So you mean to tell me you make all that money? You mean to tell me that this is your job? You mean to tell me, like, if I'm on the sideline, and I'll leave it at this. If I'm on the sideline and I know I got 13 seconds to go to the Super Bowl, or 13 seconds to go to the conference championship, excuse me. 13 seconds to go to the conference championship. All I got to do is hold this team from getting, 45 yards in 13 seconds as a coach, and I talk to my defense, and you go out there and still give up those 45 yards in 13 seconds, you don't deserve to win.
And I used to be that guy. I used to have that argument all the time. Like, listen, they have a chance to stop them. They need to stop them. But come playoff times, I think it's a little bit different. And I also think that I don't love this entirely. I think they should just add another 5 minutes on. And however it plays out, plays out. That way each team is getting the equal amount of time and whatnot.
Because it's still not fair. Essentially, now,
it'll never be fair.
You go to overtime now. So now each team gets an opportunity. If you win the coin toss, just defer. It becomes like the first half. I'm going to just defer. Yo, defense, go out there, stop them, and now you're in a better situation. It's still not fair, essentially.
But it's the only sport that didn't give both the chance to win. It's the only sport. Baseball plays top and bottom. Hockey plays a full 20, played at sudden death. Basketball, put 5 minutes on the clock. You both played offense. Football didn't allow you both to play offense. Now they do. Welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Very true.
It'll give me more football, which I'm a fan of more football. So give me more football. I'm good with that. So the Rooney Rule, something that has been discussed for a long time. And we're going to discuss that coming up next because there's a couple new wrinkles to it, which I want to get your take on because obviously you've played in the NFL. You've been coached by so many people. And we'll talk about that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani. That is Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Man, I'm telling you, we are so lucky to work here in Birmingham. Not only is it a beautiful city, but we're also in the headquarters, the world headquarters for Lady Jane's. They have hundreds of stores all across the country. But like today, I'm filling in for Ryan. I didn't know till about 11 a.m. this morning. I didn't do my hair. I wasn't ready to go, but I went out there. I was like, hey, can you put some product in my hair and make me look not awful? And they were able to make me look not awful, so imagine what they can do for you. So if you're looking for a nice, fresh cut for the summertime, get those precision haircuts at Lady Jane's. Plus, right now, when you come in, you can ask about how you could potentially win $100,000, 6 figures in your bank account. How would that feel rolling on into summer? So make sure you get your hair cut, you look good, you come to Lady Jane's because it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Welcome back to The Bottom Line, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody who has downloaded our app, which is free and available for you right now on the Google or Apple Play Store, or Apple or Google Play Store. I get those messed up sometimes, but go download it. It's absolutely free, and thank you guys for being a part of the growth of Woodward Sports. Speaking of the growth of Woodward Sports, Pat McAfee was just talking about us from what I understand in the chat. Him and D-Mac are having a little back and forth. We put out a tweet yesterday.
I love Pat McAfee, by the way.
I do too, man.
I love D-Mac.
Let's ask him, why is he so successful at what he's done? Like, he's everywhere.
Authentic.
He's authentic?
Authentic.
Yeah, authenticity.
He's not up there faking it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. And that's hopefully what people get out of Woodward Sports. Like, we're not up here like, hey, we love this. We don't like, no, these are real opinions. You give your real opinion. That's one thing I absolutely love about you.
Appreciate it.
Adam, we know that's his real opinion. He ain't faking any of that. And, that's what we wanted here at Woodward Sports, was people to be comfortable and, be able to have opinions and have conversations, because not all of us agree on a lot of things.
No, as we should.
But, right, because that's boring as hell.
That's what makes life.
Yeah, it's boring as hell, but we're able to respect each other and have sometimes difficult conversations with each other, too. But, yeah, Pat McAfee does. Yeah. Alex, do you have that video yet? No, not yet? Okay.
We will before the show's over.
Yeah, so yesterday, D-Mac put out a video talking about Pat McAfee, who's been kind of chirping the Red Wings and being like, hey, man, say what you want about my team. I got 4 cups. And, we made a nice little edit, threw it up there. Justin in the back, or Easy did it. And
Shout out to Justin.
And then Foxy from the Pat McAfee show, responded to the tweet. So we're like, oh, man, this is going to get on his radar. Well, today, during the Pat McAfee show, which is on right now while we're on, not to plug them too much, but they plugged us, so we're good to go with that.
Nothing wrong with a little plug, actually.
Yeah.
We play lots of stuff from their show.
Anyway.
That was fun. All right,
so anyways, Pat McAfee kind of came back at D-Mac, and we'll have that audio and video ready to rock coming up.
I'm excited for it. We'll talk about it more when we get the audio and the video. Alex is working diligently on it. It was last minute, so don't blame him, blame us. Here's the thing. I'm excited because WrestleMania is coming up.
Yes.
WrestleMania is this Saturday. It's a 2-night event. Saturday and Sunday. Pat McAfee is wrestling. Now you bring up D-Mac, who actually wrestles himself. I'm like, man, can we see D-Mac in SummerSlam?
That's what it's going to be. And this is what, honestly, D-Mac and I were talking about this before the show today. I was like, it's going to be D-Mac and Woodward Sports, our crew, and then Pat McAfee and his whole damn crew. And it's going to be a showdown. I could see Easy in his leather vest with his, his boobs hanging out, and Spencer back there being the house that he is. Yeah. They don't want this smoke. Hey. They do not want this smoke.
Let me tell you something, brother. Nobody wants to smoke. That'd be fun though, man. But that's why I'm excited about what Pat McAfee does, and that's why I'm excited about what we do here. Is so authentic. It's so original, and we're just growing and expanding. When you leave your brand open to expanding, open to adaptation, man, sky's the limit.
Yeah, Braylon Edwards off the top rope with the elbow, baby.
Booyah!
So, yeah, we'll get that up, and love that Pat responded to us. Yeah, me too, Detroit Dabber. Appreciate that. So the Rooney Rule, obviously it was put into play after a Rooney from the Steelers, and it in theory it's a great rule. I don't think it's done what it was supposed to do. I think, it's become more of a workaround than an actual good thing, but they're adding other things to it now, and they're saying that the NFL is now requiring teams to hire a minority or a female offensive coach, which it's weird that they just selected the offensive side of the ball, but whatever. My question to you, Braylon, is I know we're evolved as a society, and there's like Becky Hammond who was coaching the Spurs, and there's been female coaches. We had the first female referee in the Super Bowl, and Sarah Thomas. Do you think a locker room would be receptive to a woman just coming in and coaching?
Right. So now when you talk about analyst work, when you talk about women being referees, when you talk about women doing analyst work, I agree 100% there. 100% there. And because a lot of times you hear people say, oh, well, they didn't play the game. 75% of analysts didn't play the game, and they know they're talking about it. You know why? It's because they watch film. It's because they study. It's because they do their research. It's because they notice the patterns. They talk to coaches. They talk to people, so they know the game. You don't have to play in the NFL to know the game. You don't have to play in college to know the game. It helps, but you don't have to. So I definitely understand them in that space. Now, where I don't know about is a lot of times with playing that game, you're listening to a coach that has been around the game forever, that has played the game, that has played at the highest level, that has had players play. You know what I'm saying? They know the game.
Right.
When you have never played that game in terms of telling me how to run a route, that's the part I don't know where I would be in. I would be open because we live in a new society. I don't mind. I want everybody to feel inclusive,
right?
Especially if you know what the hell you're doing. If you know what the hell you're doing, if you know what the hell you're talking about, everybody deserves to be included. I'm just saying, I don't know if I would be in a room and I'm listening to a female tell me how to run a route, and she's never run that route. So I don't know. You have to be in that situation to see it. I remember I got into it with a coach in the NFL because he told me how to run a route, and he didn't ever play the game. And he basically learned from reading, he learned from other people, and he's an X's and guide. So basically, what they have on the route concept,
right. 7 yards, you plant
exactly,
your right foot.
Exactly. So how they have those lines where it's like, all right, go up here, plant then. He's trying to tell me how to do it, and we're getting into it in a meeting because he's trying to have me run in a way that you can't run it based on a certain type of coverage. I'm trying to tell him the way in which they're playing inside leverage, I can't run that curl like that. He's pushing me up top. So when I run that curl, I'm going to come right back into him. I'm trying to tell him this, and he's not getting it because he's never been in that situation. He's never been in that spot. He's never tried to catch a curl in man coverage or in shallow two. So that would be the only concern. But I think in time they can learn.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a case-by-case situation, right? And it's a respect-by-respect situation. And what kind of the only bad part about the Rooney Rule is that it gives the perception you were only hired because of this rule.
Right.
And that may not be accurate at all. This person may have been very qualified, but anybody who is already doubting can lean back on that to be like, oh, well, you're just here because of a stupid rule.
Create
a narrative that's not true.
And create a bad atmosphere, which I kind of understand that too. But on the flip side, I talk about hockey. I ain't never been on ice. I ain't never laced them up and been on the ice and went out there and shoot, and I played between the lines. So I don't know that, but I talk about it. I've done a little bit of research. I know a little bit. So that's why I'm saying on the flip side, give everybody a chance, see how it works. Everybody just be open to it. I think the thing is people don't like to be forced, but we're moving in a different direction. We're moving in a different way moving forward, so I don't know.
What's that face for, Maz?
I just don't get it. Why they have to force things?
Because it's not happening organically.
Well, when there's a women pro football league, okay, then talk to me then. When it's been around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
They have women pro leagues.
Okay, but when they're 50, 60, 70 years old.
The Detroit Demolition.
I'm about to say, they kicked us out the league. We won so many titles in Demolition.
Whatever. If I'm the owner, never mind.
I get what you're saying, but you know what happens? You know what happens, man?
Why you got to force it?
But you know what happens? Is by all the lobbying they did back in the early 2000s when you start to want the woman viewer. You want the woman in the stands. You want women to follow football. You want them. Guess what? They started following football. Then you introduce fantasy football. They play fantasy football.
Yeah.
The viewership from women has gone up through the roof over the last 16 years. They're dialed in. You talk about cancer, breast cancer. They brought women on board with breast cancer as sponsoring championing that cause in 2003, and it's grown. It's grown the sport in terms of women viewership. But I'm telling you, now there are a ton of women like our Maddie Miller here. She knows football. She knows the game. So I'm saying you've opened up the door. They're kicking the door down. You got to give them a shot.
Yeah, and I just hope, like I said, that somebody doesn't fall back on this as an excuse not to think somebody's talented. Because, it's anytime you force something in, it's like, oh, well, you're just here because of this. Like, no, I'm here because I'm talented, because I know the game and I'm good at this.
The only thing I don't like, I know it's going to create this weird space where if you see too many women that are hired, just pretty, it's like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like that's the weird space. Like, why was this person hired? Now you got this, and now an unsafe work environment. Like, that's the one thing that's going to cause a lot of problems. And you're opening that can of worms before you're opening that can of worms.
The Yankees hired a woman manager for one of their minor leagues, like before A-ball. It's like, I don't know what's before A-ball, but they hired. Her name is Rachel. She's been playing, I think, baseball, hardball, softball, in her career. So let's see how it works in baseball. The Yankees hired her. Let's see how it goes.
All right. Well, it's happening. It's part of the Rooney Rule now, so it will be that way moving forward. It'll be interesting to see who the first one hired is, and whenever you're first in, you're going to catch the most heat. So we'll figure out all of that as it happens. I want to talk a little bit about the top 25 college football programs of all time and the 100 greatest wide receivers to come out of college ever. And I think I know somebody that's on that list. We're going to talk about that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Fill it in for Ryan Ermani today. That is Mr. Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
Yes, sir.
You heard?
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Opening day is a week away tomorrow. That's right. It's the Tigers. They're finally going to be home, folks. It's the Tigers and White Sox down at Comerica Park. But Woodward Sports Network is going to be all over downtown Detroit for the first opening day, the real opening day, in 3 years. Remember last year how it snowed and Miguel Cabrera hit that home run in the snow?
Beautiful home run.
And we were at the brass rail celebrating.
The only party last year for opening day was at the brass rail with Woodward Sports.
And it was
the only
us.
one.
This time we're going to be all over the place, starting at 8 a.m. back at the brass rail with, of course, the Morning Wood Show. And then, the Big D Energy. They're going to be at the Music Hall Amphitheater, 11 to 1 o'clock. What's going to happen there, Stick? Tell us about the big keg.
Oh, man, the amphitheater is just going to be crazy. We got the whole stage going on. Joey and I are going to be up on stage while the show's going live.
Man.
We're going to be doing keg holding contests. We did a beer stein
Some
holding
sparklers?
contest. Oh, we're going in,
Let's
Braylon.
turn it up.
I'm the only thing I'm worried about is if you're hanging out with me. I don't know if I'm going to keep you alive till 2.
Hey, check this out. Guess what day it is? It's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
And then when we're done with the amphitheater, back to the brass rail.
That's right.
For us right here on the Bottom Line. Join us opening day next Friday, April the 8th. Downtown, we got you covered, of course, for opening day in Detroit, right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Yeah, get your tickets early, too, because they are, I'm not joking, they are selling out fast. Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's listening on the Roar right now. We appreciate you. So a couple lists came out today, and Maz put them in our attention. Which one do you want to discuss first, Maz?
Let's do the best college teams.
The best college teams.
The best college teams of all time.
All time.
Big Game Boomer put this out, and we're going to follow it up with the best top 100 wide receivers in college football of all time. But check this out. There might be a couple surprises in there for you guys.
Yeah, and for everybody listening on the radio right now, the list is up on YouTube. And number 1, I don't think this is a surprise to anybody, Alabama all time. And you going to argue that? You got Bear Bryant, you got Nick Saban. That's pretty two good bookends.
1 and 2 all time. Like, of course, they're number 1.
Now, 2 is where I think the debate will definitely start. Ohio State, the number 2 football program all time. All time?
I mean, it's
They're
about
up there, man.
It's about consistency. It's about longevity. You look at what the Ohio State, the franchise, the brand has been. They are synonymous with winning. They're synonymous with winning Big Ten championships. Recently, in the last 20 years, they've been synonymous with dominating the Big Ten. They went to the Big Ten. They went to the national championship as long as 2 years ago. No, 2 years ago. They won a national title in 2015. They won another national title in 2002. They beat a team that's one of the best teams I've ever seen. I didn't think they could be there. They got a little help in there, but that team was a winner as well. Ohio State, I don't have a problem with them being that high.
All right, then we got Oklahoma following them up at number 3.
That's fine.
You're good with that?
They've had a lot of history.
Oklahoma does have a lot of good history. Notre Dame.
I think Oklahoma. That's the one thing. See, I have a problem with Oklahoma. I love the fact.
Wait
that
till you get to number 6, then.
I love that they. Oh, Lord have mercy. Is it Johnny Rodgers up there?
Yeah, because Oklahoma and number 6, Nebraska, used to be it in the 70s and the 80s. They were it.
Oklahoma, at least they're winning now. They've been winning strong the last 10 years, but they're synonymous with not getting the job done. But, if you're adding in the 80s and 70s, whatever. Keep going.
So you got Notre Dame at 4, number 5, USC, which to me, Notre Dame-USC is a great rivalry.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're right next to each other.
USC were the kings of the 70s as well.
Number 6, Nebraska. I don't understand number 6, Nebraska. I mean, in my lifetime, Nebraska has perked up a couple times, but Nebraska has never been a dominant football program.
They were in the 70s and 80s. Tom Osborne, 70s, 80s, early 90s. Tommy Frazier, Tommy Osborne.
Johnny Rodgers.
Lawrence Phelps.
I used to love Tommy Frazier, though, on NCAA football.
Yeah.
Running the option with that dude. Whew.
They split the championship in '98 with the asterisk with Michigan.
No, that was Tennessee.
No.
Tennessee's coach is the reason it was a split.
Got it.
Phil Fulmer voted
for Nebraska to put him over.
He put Michigan 6th.
Because Tom Osborne was retiring, so they gave him a going-away party. And the coaches poll had Nebraska at number 1. AP had Michigan at
I'm
number
thinking
1.
the Heisman between Woodson and Manning.
That's what happened. What happened was Charles Woodson beat Peyton Manning, so that's why Phil Fulmer rated him 6th.
He stuck it to him.
Tennessee refers to that as the Heistman. They don't even call it the Heisman. They call it the Heistman.
The Heistman.
Yeah, because I know some people in Tennessee, and they always refer to that. But there we go. Sitting number 7, the University of Michigan. Fair, unfair, higher, lower? Where should Michigan be?
Right where it's at.
Aren't they the winningest program of all time?
That was the only caveat that I would throw in there. Is Michigan is the winningest school in NCAA history. I would throw that out there. But, I mean, they had a rough go at it from 2006 till last year. It was a very rough time at University of Michigan. A lot of this is what have you done for me lately, with the exception of Nebraska up there. Michigan had a rough time, so the fact that they landed 7 behind these teams, you know what? I want to argue. I want to be angry. I want to talk stuff. I want to talk about we've won a national championship more recently than Nebraska. But 7 is a bad spot. I take 6. Just switch 6 and 7.
Then we're running down LSU, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn, University of Miami, which when I was growing up, University of Miami was it. The U was it.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yep. Number 13, Penn State, Florida State,
Look
then
at
Florida,
20.
Georgia. And there we go. Yeah, work our way all the way down to 20. Your MSU Spartans, the number 20 team all time. Uh-oh, Corey Woods prancing in here.
If you
with
would
his hands up. What's going on, Corey? You got breaking news or are you just dancing? Corey got breaking news. What you got, Corey?
Oh, which camera I got right here? The rich get richer. Bobby Wagner.
To the Rams.
5-year, $50 million deal to the Los Angeles Rams.
What was I just saying? I said secret team. I said who's having a secret offseason about 40 minutes ago? The Los Angeles Rams.
Well, we said he was there last week, and they weren't going to
let
him
go. But he left
go.
and went to Baltimore, though.
Yeah.
They just will not stop in L.A., man.
F them picks.
That's going to be the mode going forward, too, in the NFL.
Until it
I don't know where
work.
they're getting the money.
It doesn't matter. They just keep pushing it down the road.
It's fake money.
It is. They restructure contracts. They push things down the road. I'll pay you in 2028. Eventually, it's going to catch up to them, but who cares? I would take 6 years down the road, us sucking to win a couple Super Bowls now.
This ain't fake money. Stan Kroenke is worth $30 million, and guess who he's married to? He's married to one of the Wall granddaughters that inherited the most out of all the grandchildren.
Like Walmart or Walgreens or
Wall?
Just Wall, period?
Well, the last name is Wall.
Okay.
W-A-H-L, but it's for Walmart. $34 billion. That ain't fake money. Between them two, they got real money.
And he built his own stadium with his own money.
Exactly.
SoFi is all his, but you know what? You're not allowed in California to rob people like New York State allowed the Buffalo Bills to rob New Yorkers for $1 billion.
New Yorkers got plenty of money. Screw New Yorkers.
That's the taxpayers, bro.
And the Rams are on to something. They lose Von Miller. They replace him. Well, not replace him per
one of the leading tacklers, right, in the NFC.
And he's averaging 160 over the last 7-8 years, man. He's
unbelievable.
The rich get richer. Corey, I love that Corey's hanging out because he can run in with all those updates.
Do we know a contract yet? That would be Corey was the one that had the information. He took off, so that would be interesting to know. It would be interesting to know what the contract was because everybody in Detroit, no, we don't need Bobby Wagner. He's the aging linebacker. Blah blah blah. I get that. I just want to know what the numbers are because I think he was a guy that can really help.
What you got, Alex Mayer?
I believe he said 5 years, $50 million, if I'm not mistaken.
5 years, 50, so $10 million a year.
Yeah.
The Lions couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what it was. Could go up to $65 million.
Depending on if he hits all his bonuses.
The Lions couldn't do that.
He could have. I wouldn't have mind Bobby Wagner. I know you. Day one, you were like, "That's the guy we need to get."
Yeah. I love Bobby Wagner. He's another one of those Malik Willis type players in terms of his mindset, his personality, in terms of just being a team guy. Saw him from day one. I was there in 2012 when he drafted him. Wasn't the starter. Came in, worked his butt off out of Utah State, and here he is, man. All Pro Bowl, perennial Pro Bowl every year.
All right. Well, I got a list of the 100 greatest wide receivers in college football of all time. And if you're in the chat right now, I want you guys kind of to take some guesses at how that top 5 or top 10 looks. Who do you think is in that? And we will address that coming up next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani. Braylon Edwards is here.
And this is The Bottom Line.
Detroit, you've been waiting. You've been asking, and now he's back. Starting Monday, April 4th. Terry Foster joins the Morning Woodward Show every day, bringing you Detroit sports like only he can. The Morning Woodward Show with Terry Foster and Adam starts April 4th, live on the Woodward Sports Network.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
Centron is a world of aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. I had some of that Centron the day before the show. Listen, great show. I love coming here, but we give you all the energy we have when we're doing these reads and doing this show, putting together this content. You know what? I needed a little Centron. Centron got me right where I needed to be, giving that energy. Talking about the top 25 programs of all time, Centron is not only here for beverages, they're here for the moments. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Centron is your choice. Drink it, live it with Centron.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's been a part of the chat today. Lots of stuff going on. I mean, when we kicked off the show talking Colin Kaepernick, chat was going wild about that. You never know how the chat's going to go, but we appreciate everybody that's in there.
You fear the unknown, man. You got to love the unknown.
I just love that, like, a whole side conversations going on with our conversation,
great,
too.
yeah.
It really is neat to watch these people just go back and forth with each other. And, so thank you guys for being a part of the chat. We were just talking about the top 25 college football teams of all time. Let's talk about the top 100 wide receivers in college football of all time. And, Braylon, when lists like this come out, before you even look at them, where do you think you're going to land on them?
Man, you just never know. Somewhere inside the top 15.
Okay.
Somewhere inside the top 15. They're usually around the same, but you hope to be inside the top 15. And but everybody has a list. Everybody has an opinion, and there's different ways in which you can have an opinion. And we'll get in that when we kind of do the list. It's are you talking about best at just that position, or are you talking about the best player at that position? Because it's different.
Okay.
It is different.
This is Big Game Boomer again. They're doing a hell of a job. They even had Tony Dungy text him, and I'll tell you about him, what he writes you back after this. Let's get into it.
And I love this top 10 because there's a lot of Michigan ties in here, not just University of Michigan, but like the state of Michigan. Yep. And here we go. Number 1, right off the rip, Kelvin Johnson, who, he got some Michigan ties, played for the Lions. And that's tough to debate, right?
Hall of Fame.
That's actually, see, here's a debatable thing. I don't want the chat to go crazy. I know it's Detroit. That's Calvin guy. Calvin being number 1 is ludicrous to me.
Over Randy?
Calvin Johnson's not the number 1 best wide receiver in NCAA history. In fact, he's not. I don't even think he's in the top. I would put him lower. I would put him around 8-9. I actually might even put him outside.
8-9?
In college, yeah. I would put the list back up there.
Let's throw it back up there. Calvin Johnson was an absolute beast at Georgia Tech.
You didn't even know who Calvin Johnson was until he got to Detroit Lions.
No, that's a lie. Because he has that one catch from when he was going across the field.
Exactly.
He went back. Everybody knew about that catch. Everybody knew about Megatron, man.
All right, watch this. We'll play a game.
All right.
Let's play a game.
Want to play a game?
I know, right? You start naming wide receivers, and I'll tell you if they belong over Calvin Johnson.
Randy Moss.
Over Calvin Johnson.
Larry Fitzgerald.
My favorite wide receiver of all time.
Even in college? I know he won the Blitnikoff.
His 2 years in college were ridiculous. I just saw so much as a wide receiver.
Now, if you say yes to this next one, to this conversation, Justin Blackman.
Justin Blackman was a monster in college, but no.
He was a beast, man.
To be honest, I'd take Justin Blackman over Calvin in college. Yes.
Oh, my.
I'd take Blackman. You better look the numbers up.
I'll look at the numbers, but oh, my.
I got one for you. Charles Rogers.
Nah.
Charles
Rogers was really good at Michigan State. Didn't run enough routes for me. Literally just ran go routes. But he definitely was one of the best wide receivers in Big Ten history. I'll give you that.
Anthony Carter.
Better than Calvin? See, now it goes back to the question, and this is where I'm glad that came up. Was he a better player at the wide receiver position, or was he a better wide receiver? Anthony Carter is probably better than most of the people on that list in terms of the best player at wide receiver. I saw a stat. Anthony Carter Scored a touchdown every third possession. He was a hell of a punt returner. He was a dynamic kick returner. He averaged over 20 yards his career, yards per catch. Anthony Carter was amazing. But if you're talking about wide receiver, I would take Calvin Johnson.
Put up the Tony Dungy now. Speaking of our man, what's Tony Dungy say?
You must not have seen Anthony Carter live only on cloudy, distorted VH tape. Otherwise, he'd be in your top 10.
That's Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
So they have Anthony Carter at 33.
But
and Tony Dungy saying it should be top 10.
Anthony Carter is number 2 all time in receiving touchdowns in Big Ten history. Like, that doesn't go for naught. You look at the players on there. Some players on that list that are ahead of him, he's ahead of in career stats at the Big Ten. So, interesting.
Well, moving on to number 6. Number 5, Michael Crabtree, absolute beast in college at Texas Tech.
2 Biletnikovs, only person to do it.
Do you think he should be above Calvin?
In college, yes.
Oh, my.
He's got 2 Biletnikovs. You got to look at the stats. He's got 2 Biletnikovs. He's got one of the most memorable plays in the last 30 years. That was the catch against Texas to win that game. 2 Biletnikovs. He had 1,900 his freshman year. He had 22 touchdowns. This is all freshman year stuff. Then the next year followed up with similar stats. So
what about Desmond Howard?
I hate Crabtree. Played with him. Don't like him as a person. So this is coming from non-biased. I don't like Crabtree.
No, I trust your opinion on college wide receivers.
Hey, this
I really
just
do.
in. You know your crap.
Yeah. Braylon knows a little bit about college wide receivers.
You have to spit it out, man.
Desmond Howard. Now, I was kind of shocked to see Desmond that high on this list. Yes, Heisman Trophy winner, but he made a lot of his noise kick returning. And that's where a lot of his hype came from. I don't really remember him as a super elite wide receiver.
It's because he wasn't. Desmond Howard wasn't even number 1 wide receiver going into the year he won the Heisman. It was Derek Alexander. Derek Alexander, number 1, another former number 1, tore his ACL. He's also from Detroit. Tore his ACL, and then the third wide receiver got hurt as well. So Desmond was essentially the only wide receiver, and he had played running back with Elvis Gerback in high school. That was his quarterback in Michigan. He is another case where you talk about player at wide receiver versus the wide receiver position. Desmond was amazing as a complete football player,
Correct.
as an all-around football player. He's legit, and he won the Heisman. So I understand why they have him up there. But if you're talking about running routes or just a wide receiver, once again, it gets hairy.
Number 7, Devontae Smith.
He won the Heisman.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, it's tough to argue how great he was.
He won the Heisman. He was really good. I can't deny it.
This is surprising to me. Number 8, Corey Davis out of Western Michigan. I loved watching Corey Davis at Western Michigan. And I always feel that anytime you could take a mediocre program and elevate them,
they were undefeated.
That's really special. That's really special.
He was on an undefeated team. He was part of the reason why P.J. Fleck got paid at Minnesota, 4,000.
Rode a boat.
4,200 career yards. I think he had 50 touchdowns. I think he was another guy with a high yards per catch.
But do you think he deserves to be above number 9, Braylon Edwards?
I feel like anything I say right here, I'm in trouble.
No.
Okay, let me say it for you. He does not deserve to be above number 9, Braylon Edwards.
Give us your numbers.
The only Big Ten player ever to have 3,000-yard seasons back-to-back-to-back, or 3,000-yard seasons, period. 2 Big Ten titles, 3rd pick overall. I mean, numbers sometimes don't tell the story because, you can have lesser numbers and be better. You can have good numbers and be that what you are. So, Corey Davis, no, doesn't deserve to be over me, but I understand it. I don't have a problem with it.
Well, you're in the top 10. You said whenever these lists come out, you kind of think that you're going to be in the top 15. Are you comfortable being at 9?
I'm proud.
You should be, dude.
When you say ever, you're not talking about the last 20 years. You're not talking about the last 30 years. Shout out to it's an honor. You dream of wanting to play a sport. That's
a legacy.
If you want to play a sport, you dream about playing that sport. I dreamed about playing football. Not only did I dream about playing it, I dreamed about playing it at Michigan, where my dad was. When my dad went to school, I got a chance to go to Michigan where my dad went to school. And then I got a chance to go out there. I wanted to wear number 1 like AC did. I got a chance to wear number 1. I had 1,000 yards, then another one. So, to be on this list, I'm extremely humbled and honored. I love it, and don't get me teary-eyed.
No, man, you deserve all of your roses.
Take a look at number 58.
Number 58?
Yeah.
The list only goes up to 50. Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase is 58. Is it because he didn't play the entire 4 years?
1 year.
Yeah.
Essentially 1 year.
God, some of those names. Jeff Samardzija
Terry
on the
Glenn.
list. Terry Glenn.
Deshaun Jackson was same thing he did in NFL. He was an 80-yard touchdown waiting to happen. Nate
Keyshawn.
Burleson. But Keyshawn, he's a number 1 pick.
He's
Yeah, he was
24.
number 1 overall.
Keyshawn, number 24.
Golden Tate
Des
on there at
Bryant,
73.
25.
Bobby Ingram's another guy that won.
But rounding out the top 10 is a guy that the Lions drafted too, Ryan Broyles. So 5 of the top 10 college wide receivers of all
Michigan
time
tie.
have a tie to the state of Michigan, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I wish he would have done something here, though.
You knew he was injured coming out of college.
Yeah.
That was like that was a lottery pick. You're just hoping that ticket turns out. Because I was a fan of that draft. It's like we got him in the second round. Why not? He was one of the best wide receivers in college. If he works out, great. Second round pick. Oh well. I mean, we also drafted Titus Young in the second round.
There was a lot of second-round picks that never existed on the Lions.
Never even made the roster.
Don't poo-poo the second-round pick, please.
One thing you look at that list where you can tell that stats played a big part of it. You can tell that like the numbers that guys had.
Yeah.
So you can tell it was a heavily stat-based type of list that was made. A lot of research was done to find out those numbers, to see those yards per catch, etc. A lot of stat-based lottery.
Yeah, Michael Irvin at 18. I guarantee Michael Irvin feels he should be number 1. I could guarantee that right now.
Man, the U.
Yeah. Dude, those U teams were so fun.
Just-
When they showed up in their camouflage and their fatigues.
They were professional players in college.
Yeah.
Like everything about that team, whether it was the U in the 80s to when it turned into Butch Davis's, Larry Coker's, once it turned into like when it started in the 80s, they were a professional team that just happened to be in college.
If you guys give Big Game Boomer a follow, make sure you tell him that we talk about him right here on Woodward Sports. Give him the love.
Those are your boys, Maz? Do you know them?
They're not, but I love them.
You do love them?
I love them.
All right, awesome. Well, that's the list. If you guys want to see the entire list, Maz says where it is, and you can go look for it now. Big Game Boomer, that's what it is. All right, go check that out. And we should come up with our own list, too. And my list is going to be Braylon.
Stop it. You're going to make me out there.
Yeah, I'm lying. But, no, honestly, I think it's a pretty solid top 10.
Randy Moss, though, like Randy Moss was that dude.
He scored a touchdown every game.
More than that. He had
No, I know he had more, but he literally scored a touchdown in every game.
Him and Larry Fitzgerald. I think Larry had 22 the year he won the Millennium Cup, and I think Randy Moss had 29 at Marshall. He transferred from Florida State to Notre Dame to Marshall. What he did, he deserved to sit right next to Charles Woodson and Peyton Manning. He deserved to be at the Heisman for what he did.
Yeah, he could have won the damn Heisman that year.
You're not
Probably
lying.
should have.
You're not
honestly. Well, we got some bet news coming up next. Our man Scotty G from Woodward Bets is going to come on, and he's going to tell us about some odds, some spreads, what you should be taking, what you should be looking at. Mads,
Final Four.
I know you're ready for this.
I'm ready. And baseball futures we're going to talk about.
All right, we'll do that next right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for the one, the only Ryan Ermani. That is number 9 on this top 50, 100 list. Braylon Edwards to my right.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And that's the bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, everybody, it's time to get your tan on. Get your butt out there to Chili Peppers Tanning. Check them out at chilipepperstanning.com. They have the cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized rooms, and, of course, certified trained tanning professionals. If you join the Pepper Club, they'll take good care of you because they'll beat all competitors by $5. chilipepperstanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, 26 locations, more on the way. One right down the block here, about a mile down from us here on Woodward. chilipepperstanning.com. Get your tan on.
And I love the ladies that work at Chili Peppers Tanning. We did a live broadcast from there a couple weeks ago. Everybody was so nice. So make sure you follow them on social media, too.
Sam liked them, too.
Yeah,
He did.
Great people. Good.
Came back, said, I like them.
I did not say that. I have a
sorry.
fiance. Remember,
My bad.
I don't talk about other women on air. That's
correct.
a rule.
My bad.
On air. Why did you put the caveat of on air? It should just be like, I don't talk about other women, period.
You know what? That's a very good point, and it is period, but especially not on air. Come on now. I'm not going to get baited like that. You know that.
All right.
I see. You got me still looking at this list, man. This is a fun list. And now I'm going back and looking. And now I'm just thinking about the most exciting players on this list. Like, that's another part.
Like a Percy Harvin?
To me, I was a really good wide receiver in college, but I wasn't exciting. I wasn't that guy that was going to, like, shake the draws off of you.
Oh, no, that Michigan State triple overtime game was pretty exciting.
The fact that it was triple overtime is what made it exciting. Like, I'm looking at this list, man. Peter Ward. What Peter Ward was at Florida State, never in my life have I had a moment like Peter Moment had every game. You look at that, and Santana Moss, like the stuff he was able to do. Rocket Ishmael down in Notre Dame.
Ishmael,
That's what I'm saying. There's some fun, exciting players on this list.
Was Tim Brown on that list?
He's a Heisman winner. He's definitely on this list.
Oh, there he is, 16.
16.
Okay.
If you notice, when that top 25 Heisman trophies are in there. In that thing, so
that should count for something, right?
Yeah,
the Blitnikoff and the Heisman should count for a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll bring it back tomorrow when Ryan's here. You could take that list and put your own spin on it.
This is true.
All right.
I'm doing it.
Alex, we got Scotty G on the line. Let's bring him in from Woodward Bets, which you can watch daily.
Scotty G.
How's it going, Scott?
What's up, boys? Good to see you guys. It was fun to be in the office a little bit earlier, but Braylon, don't cut yourself short, man. That Stick said, that triple overtime game with Michigan State, as a Michigan fan, still goes down as one of my favorite. And that was surely exciting, that's for sure.
Well, I do appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot.
I was watching it with a Michigan State fan, and watching a grown man cry was hilarious.
That had to be good.
I was like, come on. Because I think I've told you this story. Like, earlier in the game, you guys weren't doing that well, right?
No.
And he's pounding on the wall. He's literally chanting your name. I think you dropped a pass or something. He's chanting, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards. Oh,
I fumbled.
That was it. And
I fumbled.
He's clowning you, and then the overtime comes. And we didn't know each other at that point, but, I don't have an allegiance towards either team.
I knew you in spirit.
Yes.
I knew you in spirit.
I didn't have an allegiance, and then watching that triple over, I'm just sitting there, like, watching him. And then I start chanting Braylon Edwards to him, and, tears, baby.
That was a moment. That's a moment I won't forget. I was actually at Wild Willard Sports down in Disney, so I was like a lone Michigan fan and a bunch of, fans from down south. They weren't really Michigan fans. I let everybody know that Braylon was the man that game. That's for sure. But good memories.
Well, let's get into some bets.
What was the spread on that game, by the way?
Absolutely. I don't remember.
Michigan minus 6, I think.
It very well could have been.
Yeah.
We definitely were a favorite.
Well, Maz, you want to ask him what you want to start with?
I'm going to start with what the hell you think I'm going to start with? The Final Four, baby.
Attaboy.
It's the Final Four. Let's go. First game, Scotty G. KU and Villanova. Villanova, that's Braylon's team. Getting 4.5 over under. What's the number? 133. What do you got?
Yeah, this one here, these two games this weekend, this tournament's been great, a lot of fun, but here we are getting down to the very end. But for me, in this spot here, I think Villanova, they got a great coach, don't get me wrong. I just think they're going to run into a team here in Kansas that is just a little bit better than them. I think Villanova losing that starter here last game is going to definitely come into play and hurt. But for me, give me Kansas. But this one here, I'm going to actually ignore the points. I'm just going to take the money line and pay the juice. But I don't want the points. I'm just going to take them to win. And just get that out of the way and just go from there. But I'm not fooling with the points. I'm just betting the straight-up money line.
No over-under either?
I actually think this one here could be a little bit slower pace game. So I think the under would be a lean for me in this spot. It's not something that I'm too happy about. But, I think I would take under. I think Villanova is going to have to try to slow it down a little bit, limit the possession. So for me, I'd probably lean the under.
Can't believe you're gonna diss Jay Wright like that, man. He's the best college coach right now. He gonna diss Jay Wright.
He is. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely one of the best coaches. But I think Kansas, up and down that roster, they're just too talented. I think Jay Wright, being the good coach he has put him in this position they're in. I think he's just going to run into too good of a team here, and I think they're going to win the game.
And Villanova's lost, I don't know, I forget the kid's name, but 15 points a game. He blew out his Achilles in the Elite Eight game. So losing that is not going to help them at all. I think KU will win the game, too. As far as covering, we'll see how that goes. But the second game, everyone's on it. First time they've ever met in a Final Four, which is amazing. It's Duke and North Carolina. Duke, of course, Coach K's farewell. They're giving 4.5 to North Carolina and Hubert Davis. Over under, they like 151 in this game, so a little bit higher scoring.
Yeah, this one here, actually, I'm looking forward to this one. You're right. I mean, they haven't met in the NCAA tournament at all in the whole time,
Amazing.
which is absolutely just mind-boggling to me. I mean, both these teams have always had, success. I mean, it was always when you got your bracket, you're always just supposed to write these two in the Sweet 16 for many years. So it's just surprising that they actually never met, which is odd. And then the weirder part is here they're meeting. It's like a movie scene. Here we are. Coach K's last season, they're meeting here in the Final Four. I mean, you can't even script it any better than that. But I'll tell you one thing. I think Duke is going to be motivated. They got their ass kicked, obviously, in that last game at Cameron there for Coach K at home. I think Duke's going to be motivated. I think they're going to win by 10, to tell you the truth.
Wow.
I'm all over the alternate lines. I think Duke is going to absolutely smash them here. So give me the Blue Devils to move on. I think it's going to be Kansas and Duke on Monday night.
Yeah, worst thing that UNC could have done was beat the hell out of Mike Krzyzewski at his last game at Cameron Indoor. So they basically have been the reason why Duke's going to win it all.
Scotty G, I got to ask you, how's your bracket looking, man? Because, I mean, mine is trash. Like, mine's been trash since about the Sweet 16 games. How's yours looking?
Mine's the same way. Mine made it in the garbage. I actually had Kentucky and Tennessee in the finals.
Ooh.
So didn't quite fare too well there.
Wisconsin Gonzaga over here.
Yeah, I didn't do too well, but a good buddy of mine is Big Tilly, and he's in 6th place. And if it works out to where it's Kansas and Duke wins, he's gonna take down the Woodward Sports Bracket challenge. So
I wish my wife.
I'm rooting for him. He's let me know all about it, though. Let me tell you, he's made it perfectly clear what needs to happen for him to win. And it's always good to see your buddies or a friend do well. So I'm rooting for him. But I think it's going to be a great game this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
I should have had my wife get into Woodward Sports when I blew it. She got in her own at school, and she's got Duke and Villanova in the final, and she's got Duke winning it all. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. Any NBA tonight at all?
You know what? There is some NBA. I'll tell you what. For those of you who haven't been paying attention to the Woodward Bet Show, for one, we actually got our own new channel here at the Woodward Bet Sports Network. So the Woodward Bets, we got our own channel, YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are over there. Do us a favor, go over there and check it out. Actually, when you're done here watching the show here, go over there and subscribe to our channel, Beerman, Beastie. We got Kelly in Vegas or Phoenix that does golf for us. So excited to have her aboard. But we're adding new content, shorter videos, get you guys what you need, some of our best bets and fun stuff like that. But if you've been watching, you guys know, man, I've been riding the Pistons. The Pistons are absolutely incredible when it comes to covering the spread. 17-2 against the spread here. So tonight they get Philly. They're getting 10 points. We did talk about it a little bit earlier, and I know some of the feeling is who's going to guard Embiid tonight for the Pistons, but they've just been playing so pesky. I mean, Cade Cunningham literally is keeping the Pistons in every game. He also has a point prop tonight, 20.5. I mean, after that last game, how do you not bet on that? So I think that is someplace I'm going to look, but I'm just going to keep riding. I'm so far into the Pistons at this point, 17-2. If I sat at a blackjack table and won 17 out of 19 hands, I'd be a pretty happy guy. So that's what we're looking at here with the Pistons. Hottest team in sports in covering the spread. I'm just going to keep riding it. They do it right. They lose the game and they cover the spread. We can't ask for anything better.
We're going to send Braylon across the street and flatten the tires of the bus on their way to LCA because the Sixers, I'm smelling it. They're right across the street here in Birmingham. All right, before I let you go, baseball's coming up a week away from opening day. Tigers, what's the over-under on the Tigers? Is it like 77, 76? Where's that number, and what do you like? What do you like?
77.5. And not to be a homer, this is one of my favorite ones here. I mean, the Tigers last year started out in April. They were 8-19. I mean, they were 11 games back right off the bat. I mean, people were already, putting them to rest. But then they came back. They came out strong. They actually finished a little bit above 500. So I think A.J. Hinch is a great manager. I mean, we've made some additions to the team. I think Erod is going to really help out. He's going to eat up some innings for us, a good quality pitcher. I think Michael Pineda is going to help out as well. And then it's really going to determine for me, I think we need two of these three young kids to step up in Mize, Manning, or Skubal. I think they're ready to take on that role. And we're all excited here about Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson. So I think that's going to pump some life into a guy like Miguel Cabrera. I think, it already seems like they got some good camaraderie going on with the team. So, hey, I'll take it. I think over 77 is one of my favorites in all of the futures here. And I also put a little bit on Riley Green to win the Rookie of the Year at 10 and 11-1 in some spots. So, yeah, Maz, looking forward to some baseball, but give me the over in the Tigers win total.
Sounds good, man. How about any other things stick out to you as far as over-unders go in baseball? Any teams sneaking up on you?
One thing that I was looking at was the Red Sox. I think that is a really tough division. That AL East is going to be a real tough division. I like the under in their win total. I don't care if they added Trevor Story or not. I'm just not a fan of their pitching. Chris Sale's going to take some time to come back. I just think they're relying too much on a couple of their rookies dial back. So for me, I think it's going to be a tough sled in that division. I mean, Yankees are good. Obviously, they got a little bit of pitching problems, but Tampa's always good. Toronto's up and coming. So for me, I think it's going to be tough for Boston to get over their win total. But I like some home run futures. I bet on Corey Seager to lead all of the MLB in home runs at 200 to 1. So I went with that. New Texas Ranger. So give me Corey Seager. Hopefully he can pull through for me.
Sounds good. I'll tell you this: you should bet the over on all Red Sox games because they're going to score a lot and they're going to give up a lot of runs too. And I hope they, of course, finish in last place in the AL East.
Sounds like the Red Wings.
Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me on, and good luck to everybody this week with your bets. And always remember to gamble responsibly. But make sure you guys check out the Woodward Bet Show, and we'll check you guys out there.
Hey, man, I'll be bowling with your bowling ball that you gifted me tonight. I'll let you know how I do.
Good luck there, buddy. Hey, it's still got some magic, and I left some in there for you. So hopefully you bowl you a 300 here tonight.
I'm trying, man. Thank you. I want to be just like you.
Make sure you go follow Woodward Bets right now on YouTube. Subscribe to them because if you need some of that knowledge, these guys absolutely crush it. They go like you are with college football wide receivers. They are with gambling on this stuff, and it's pretty amazing the depth of knowledge that they have. So go give them a subscribe right now on YouTube. And when we come back, it is time for Maz's videos of the day right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani. That is Braylon Edwards.
And this is The Bottom Line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You know what else is wicked awesome? Being safe when you're at home, feeling safe when you're at home, or feeling safe about your home when you're not at home. And that's what Guardian Alarm does for you. They give you that peace of mind, and it's real easy. You could just call them today at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800, give it to me, Sam.
Stay out.
There it is. Give them a call today. Let them know that Woodward Sports sent you. They'll come over. They'll look at your house. They'll tell you exactly the security that you need, and you can control everything right here in the palm of your hand because they are the leading security experts. So make sure you give them a call today. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. One more time, that number is 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out.
That's right.
All right.
And, of course, if you're looking to have a little fun, which, you know, it's almost 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and that's where Gypsy Vodka comes in. I'm actually going out tonight in Royal Oak, and I plan on drinking some Gypsy Vodka because it just is the right amount of mix that I like. They went through so many recipes to get this smooth, delicious-tasting vodka, and it's gluten-free. So if you're worried about that type of thing, you got it covered right here with Gypsy Vodka. Make sure if you're going out this weekend, you grab some, or go to your local party store and get yourself a bottle today. It's Gypsy Vodka, made right here in Michigan.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
And it is Maz right here. I am. Here I am. I want to throw it the stick before I do anything because what happened yesterday to our man?
Yeah, Evan Stout, a.k.a. Dabber, right here in our chat. He won the grand prize. Well, he got a chance to win the grand prize. He was our finalist for the Big Shot competition that you guys were qualifying people for 4 weeks. He showed up yesterday to Grove's Gym. He had to make a free throw. layup, three-pointer, and a half-court shot in 30 seconds, and we were going to send him to New Orleans. We're going to pay for the hotel, going to give him tickets to the Final Four, plus make sure that airplane ticket was taken care of and some money for food. And here's how it went. Hey, what's up? It's Woodward Sports, and we wanted to see who's got the big shot, so we were qualifying people for the last 4 weeks. You, Evan, are officially our finalist, so that means if you make a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot in 30 seconds, you're going to New Orleans. We're sending you to the Final Four. We're going to get you tickets, hotel, and airfare. You ready?
Think so.
All right, we got our official timer back there. You ready? 30 seconds on the clock? All right, let's do this. Well, how you feeling, man?
I came, I saw, I didn't conquer, but I tried.
You did try. Good job. And we got a consolation prize for you. We're going to hook you up with some Woodward Sports gear and whatnot, all right?
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. So congratulations to Evan for being the finalist. And like we said, we're not going to let him leave empty-handed. But for everybody who got into the competition, thank you so much. Like, we love these. You know, the whole Groves baseball team was there watching it.
Oh,
it was kind of
that's
exciting.
pressure.
I was hoping he was going to make it, man, because I love those moments.
Yeah, those are great moments, man. We showed one where somebody made it. High school was super quiet, and then it went erupted when he won. Shout out just for him being there. I love what he said at the end. He said, hey, man, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, we gave away $10,000 this football season at a high school game with a kid who kicked a 25, 35, and 45-yard field goal. So, like, these games are fun, and they can be done. I mean, 10 G's right to that kid. It was great.
That was awesome, man. Hey, another thing that's awesome, of course, is, well, my former hero, O.J. Simpson. And someone, of course, O.J. likes to put these weekly YouTube videos out. He does it on Twitter as well. And someone, well, he wanted to talk about the slap heard around the world. Here it is.
But the question I've been getting is Will Smith and Chris Rock. Hey, look, it was unfortunate. I think Will was wrong. Look, I understood the feeling. Now, in my life, I've been through a lot of crap when I was raising 2 young kids, and every comedian in the country had an OJ routine, and don't think I wouldn't want to be slapped a couple of those guys, but you got to accept it's humor, and I didn't even think that was all that egregious. I thought it was a semi-unfunny joke, but I don't know. I don't get it. I know this. After what happened to me in Las Vegas, if I would have done that in front of 1 billion people watching around the world, they would have given me life without. I'm just saying. Hey, take care.
And he's, of course, still looking for the killer.
That man, OJ, is he
character, bro.
He is a national treasure. It's almost gotten to the point where it's funny. He's always been funny, but not on purpose. But because of what happened, it's weird because you want to laugh at some of the stuff he says, but then it's also such a serious matter.
Yeah, you're like, wait, this guy killed 2 people.
Exactly. He's like, I know something. Yeah, guess what, OJ? We all know what you know.
Yeah.
All right, I got something for you from earlier this week. Darren McCarty and Neil on Big D Energy. They were chatting Red Wings. And, of course, D-Mac's going to defend the Red Wings in the Iser plan. And I think the day prior to that, Pat McAfee show, Pat McAfee, a Pittsburgh guy, went on there and, Penguins destroyed the Wings 11-2. So he goes on there and says the Wings are the worst. They're not even a hockey team, blah, blah, blah. So D-Mac defends them and says, hey, I got my 4 cups. I got my 4 rings, Pat McAfee. Today, they brought up D-Mac on the show.
Embodied Detroit. Is he like Darren McCarty? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Foxy's yelling into him. Darren McCarty, I guess, called me out. I haven't seen it. I just seen tweets about it.
What? 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
For what?
I think because I say the facts. The Red Wings stink, dude. Okay. Sorry about it, D-Mac.
Like I said, you're a Pittsburgh guy, so you got to say what you got to say, but he's a 4-time champ, so he wants you.
Yeah, well, they haven't really been good since D-Mac hung up.
So, D-Mac, why don't you, hey, lace him back up, D-Mac. How much you love the team?
He was a part of the greatest fight in hockey history, actually.
Listen,
he started it.
Which one is that? I don't know if D-Mac wants me right now. I'm in WrestleMania shape, but next week and 2 weeks after that. But what fight? Who did he fight?
It was against the Colorado Avalanche.
He won.
Claude Lemieux. It was Claude Lemieux.
Yes. Claude Lemieux, huh?
Big
It was
brawl.
Claude Lemieux.
Claude Lemieux turtled like a chicken shit rat that he was.
Whoa!
Holy
shit! I don't know, Claude. Jeez, is he related to Mario?
No, no relation.
That's when hockey was good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, D-Mac, we miss you on the ice.
Wow, he does not know his hockey. He does not know his hockey.
Gonna learn today.
Pat McAfee, what's up, man? I thought you knew it all.
Nobody ever asks him to know hockey. He knows football.
Who did he fight?
And that joker knows wrestling.
Come on, man.
But no, he's amazing what he does. But now, yeah, like he doesn't know it is what it is. But hey, that fight, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Who you taking?
I will never doubt D-Mac ever in my life.
It's a trick question.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm with you, Mac. Happy early birthday, by the way.
Oh, when's D-Mac's birthday?
Tomorrow.
Really?
You'll be 50.
Oh, man, we got to do it up for D-Mac. You guys got to tell me these things,
We
man.
dropped the ball on that.
I
one.
did. I definitely did. So,
I didn't
yeah.
drop it. There it is. I gave it to you.
So there you go. Pat McAfee and D-Mac, they're going back and forth on social media. And this is only going to build up from here because they're both big wrestling guys and they know how to build up a story. And I could see this turning into a major thing. So
Just waiting for SummerSlam, man. Set it up so we can get to SummerSlam. Pat McAfee, D-Mac, SummerSlam. We're going there.
Let's do it. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on The Bottom Line. Ryan Romani will be back tomorrow. And thank you guys for letting me fill in. Braylon Edwards, Maz, Sam Flannel, Alex Mayer. You guys have a great, is it Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
My
It's been
goodness.
a long week, man. I don't know what day it is.
I got a date tonight.
You got makeup. Oh, boy, them DM slides been working.
Oh, dude. Been killing the game, son. We will see you.
Slide.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Make sure you go follow Woodward Bets right now because they're going to be on at 6 o'clock. Have a great one.